Personally, I am hoping to see some Lowling action. I would love to see a Hydra. Hydra's so rare to find.
Yeah, you're right. Hydra is pretty terrifying.
Anytime I see a Hydra, after going up against Hydra, I think, God, I'm just gonna get walled. That is just a wall. They are just a wall. You cannot go past the Hydra when they're firing.
You really can't. Like, oh, apparently, the music's too loud and nobody can hear our voices. According to what,
It's better.
is it better now?
Can you hear my beautiful pipes working now?
Oh.
We need some of that angel Halo, the angel music, Halo, whatever. All right. So it looks like for the. What's going on? So how's everyone doing tonight? I'm very excited.
I can tell you that I'm doing fine. I had a busy day today. I'm gonna have a busier one tomorrow. I'm going to do, I don't know where y'all are from, but I'm going to do, a civic duty as an American. Basically a state I'm in is having an election, and always vote your conscience, don't let anybody else influence how you vote. That's all I'm gonna say.
Of course, absolutely. Here we have these teams up, so for some reason, this team's name's not showing up, but they are low cortisol.
Hold up. Hold up. What is that pickup?
There.
Hold up. Dognar, Mouse, Arcader on the same team? What is this crossover episode? I am living for it, honestly.
This is gonna be a very interesting match. And then over here we have Yikes No Idea. I want to try and get some information on these gamers.
I could look them up. Apparently stream volume is super low, according to what I'm reading.
Right, so over on low cortisol we have the 52 gal, the backline player it seems, a support with cooler, a bunch of different cooler options like zap, edit, which I'm hoping to see, and a wiper. And then over on Yikes No Idea, we have a bucket player with North, I'm assuming MB, Narwhal here who plays shooter, T-Tech specifically, and Decav, Sir Wesley who plays pro, and Wi-Fi Diff who plays leader, which is gonna be scary. I have known very many scary leaders in my lifetime, and I do not want to go up against any of them ever again.
Yeah, I completely believe you. Like, I see you. That's gotta be scary.
Yeah, genuinely, it just feels like they have aimbot. No matter what I do, they just know where I am. I cannot hide from them.
No, seriously, because it's like... Oh yeah, I must be quiet because, okay, so my mic kind of makes it seem like, I'm from, what is it? Call of Duty?
You're in a Call of Duty lobby right now?
Apparently, reject modernity, embrace Xbox Live is something a wise man once said.
I personally don't know if I would want to be embracing Xbox Live, but you do you, my friend. First up, we're gonna have Clamblitz Umami.
Could you imagine if I'm actually commentating from an Xbox right now?
That would be hilarious. Just you have the Xbox 360 pulled up, your headset's connected to Discord.
Yes. Hey, didn't the Xbox have a web capability?
I think that's for the more modern Xboxes where they have like Discord compatibility. You could chat via Discord with Xbox. I don't think the 360 had that, unfortunately.
Alright, so get a modern Xbox, put an Xbox 360 mic in it, and then it's business. It's
That is
showtime.
exactly how you sound. That's 100% just how you sound.
I got this laptop from 2017. It was a graduation from high school gift, and it's been with me for nearly a decade now.
Really?
Yeah. Of course, it's not the same computer because over time I had to replace the hard drive and put a new SSD in it, and then the shell had to be replaced because one of the guys broke the motherboard by accident. It was a free replacement, but basically it's a
That's fair.
different computer, but the soul is still the same.
It still has the soul of your original computer at the very least. I
Indeed, it
also have
does.
a I also have a fairly old computer. I got it, I want to say year of high school, would you be like 2019-ish or so? And I still have that laptop with me. In fact, right now it's currently running a modded Minecraft server for me and my friends that we haven't been on since it started.
No way.
Yeah, it's mainly Cobblemon, which I'm very happy. I'm happy with Cobblemon. I love Cobblemon, but like I I unfortunately was not in the 2-week Minecraft phase like my friends were. So the server just kind of died out, and now no one plays on it.
Oof. That's rough. It's like you go through all the effort and then suddenly, nope.
Yeah, although I'm still happy with how it turned out. At least it gives me more experience of what to do next time. Have you been trying out that new Tomodachi Life games?
I have. It's got me in a chokehold.
Agreed. Same here. I have not been able to stop playing. I just even during work, during lunch, instead of like actually going out to eat something, I just play Tomodachi Life, add more characters, solve my Mii's problems.
And I was just saying earlier, I think I've got my boys in a nice decohedron between each other. But we've got a game ready to go. I can't believe it. What? Oh, wait.
Oh,
It crashed? Did we?
it did not crash. It is
There we
on
go.
our end. The stream is still good. There we are.
Okay, I want to point out, you usually don't see Arcader, Mouse, and Doggar on the same team. What is this crossover episode? And I'm living for it.
Now, unfortunately, I'm not too into the scene to know exactly those players, but I am very excited for today's match.
We've already got 7 clams. As a wise Inkbrush main has always said, hold your 7s.
Absolutely. Making those balls gives away your location. It does give you a bit of special charge, but your location is very imperative, especially for weapons that want to try and stay hidden, sneak and around, flank around.
Already we've got 2 dunks in for the basket for free. Wi-Fi diff getting diffed by the ledge punishments. Quinn out here guarding, well, not ledge guarding, but okay, I love all the map control for blue team here.
Absolutely. You could tell that they're trying to keep their side of the zone, essentially. Down goes Quinn, though.
Vaporeon going down as we've got this team. I keep forgetting the names of the teams.
It's Low Cortisol. Low Cortisol is the orange team, and they're taking mid fairly well. Leader on top of Dome is the average leader spot. You love to see it and hate to see it. You cannot move anywhere in mid without that leader seeing you from halfway across the map.
I think Wi-Fi diff is on. I keep forgetting the team. Yikes!
Low
No
Cortisol.
idea.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, we might have gotten a little switched up. Alright, so low cortisol is the one in blue, and yeah, no idea, or yikes, no idea is the one in orange.
I see, I see. Alright. We have a bubble here defending against that crab. Not a bad play. Although Bubble did kind of just get completely shredded.
That's just life for Bubble with you, and that's life as a Bubble for you. Vaporeon going in with that 52 gal, current meta in the game right now, even if nobody else is talking about it.
Absolutely. 52 gal is a menace to society.
And yeah, menace to society indeed. We've got a full ball on the side of low cortisol. and we're gonna try to go in for it.
I see, I see. I believe they get 2 balls and they're almost out of penalty. Although they're not going to be able to hold it for that long, it seems, because we have Yikes No Idea moving in, popping off.
I was gonna say something, but it probably would have come across in a certain way, and we didn't need a repeat of last week.
No, absolutely, we do not.
I don't even know if you know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about, thankfully.
Bet.
I'm pretty sure it was the same map too, wasn't it?
Probably would. We got Quinn taking out nice too. It's a nice double for Quinn here on the side of low cortisol. And we're gonna just keep holding on to our clams here. Mouse is situated in a very good spot. Nice visuals. Trying to protect the basket as it comes down to the wire here. As we get a
But there
nice
goes
wipeout
a
against low
wipeout.
cortisol.
Very nice. That's going to be a start of a good push if they can make a ball, but it seems like clams are going around everywhere. They do get it in, but are they able to hold the space? They are currently 2 down, 3 down, leaving just the leader. This is likely a dead push, unfortunately. Leader does not have the power to hold all that area on its own.
We really don't. When you have that size disadvantage, you've got nothing else to do but to fall back unless you think you can catch a quad off that, and some players can. I know as a brush, my ego would say, oh yeah, this is an easy quad, and then proceed to get only a trade.
Yeah, absolutely. As an edit, I definitely go for ego trades at a lot of the times, and it rarely works out because other players just understand I'm going for the trade and punish me for that.
Yeah, that's the hard thing. It's like you've not only got to figure out how to win, but you've got to read other people too. When got their crab license out, they've gone crabbing. Unless somebody turns their crab into crab boil.
You wrote
Oh!
the map through grades. Unfortunate. They had to try and escape those strikes somehow. I guess that is one way.
Yeah, it is one way. We've got another wipeout, and this time it's for low cortisol's benefit.
Unfortunately, basket's gonna close. Not enough time for anyone to score in clams, and that's gonna give them the game.
And this is why we need to hold on to our clams very tightly. Otherwise, people will just take them from us.
Absolutely. Economy in Clamblitz is definitely one of the most important parts of this game modes. That gives game 1 to Yikes. Wait, was it Yikes No Idea?
Low cortisol's the one. Wait, what? What?
It was
Did we
Yikes.
get them mixed up? Wait, hold up.
Yeah. They're
We
the
got 'em
reverse
mixed up?
colors.
Oh my gosh. I am going.
It's okay, it's okay. It happens to the best of
Bro.
us. Yeah, Yikes No Idea is getting that first game, thankfully. Up next, we're gonna have ship-shaped cargo zones.
If I can hold on to my sanity as well as they can hold on to their balls and clam blitz, we would be in a much better place right now.
Oh, absolutely, without a doubt. I would love to be able to be like that. Having my sanity the same way the balls are held. Give me a second there. Hold on a second there.
Welcome to Shark Tank, folks.
Up next, we're gonna have ship-shaped cargo zones. I am genuinely not really that big of a fan of ship shape. It just feels like a really odd map to me. I never really understand where you're supposed to stand.
It's cursed. I usually try to take up top right, maybe even try to go off the top right, off the ledge, and start bonking people with the ink brush, but...
Yeah, I try to stand on top of the stacks, but typically a gal or, God forbid, a brush comes over to my stack and then just completely demolishes me without a chance for me to take my space back.
Indeed, yeah. That's gotta be really scary. I love to scare people in, like, all modes. Like, are you familiar with a Splatling main called V Heavy? I was in the NA League last weekend. Even though I didn't win against their team, bro was bro was really scared.
Funnily enough,
Remember, colors
VHappy
are still
actually
fluff.
happens to be my coach.
Let's go. I scared your coach.
Absolutely, you did.
Let's go. Alright, so Yikes, No Idea, and Low Cortisol are at it again. The colors are apparently swapped.
I
And
see.
Narwhal. Alright, so Narwhal.
Trying to take attention, but unfortunately, it's not really giving them the kills that they are going for.
Arcader's just at like 0.5. Or they were at like 0.5 health, and they ended up getting barraged by the missiles. Wonderful.
Thankfully, they were coolered.
Yeah, you're right. But that's just kind of a waste of cooler. I mean, hey, it's cooler.
They come back with
Vaporeon
the
with the
hammer.
wall. Yeah, that's true. I'm safe. I'm not cooler. I'm not cooler educated.
Really?
Ooh, Vaporeon going down to point blank, and the hammer just came out of nowhere.
I genuinely did not see that hammer anywhere around.
I got a jump scare for a moment. I was about to grab my Switch. I'm like, I was about to squid roll for them. Like,
We have the crab coming out, 2 going down, leader going down as well. All that's left is the slosh, and it wastes the reef slider. That is very unfortunate.
that's solo ulting. That's just
Yeah.
solo ulting. I've had that happen to me so many times just because I'm a brush. MB on the Dread. We're gonna try to get some space out, but it doesn't seem like we're catching much that benefits us right now. NB
No,
is in the middle of a skirmish here. Mouse is scheming.
now they do have a slider here, and as we know, slider can absolutely change the game on zones. We have no idea when it's coming out or what it's gonna do. Going for the leader, not quite finding the pick, unfortunately. They don't have a lot of time. They really need to try and get zone fast, but everyone on low cortisol is still alive, and that gives them the game.
Low cortisol winning the game. That's really neat to see.
Absolutely.
I was gonna say, Mouse is a co-commentator, at least for other things than Shark Tank. I think. I don't know if they work for Shark Tank. Do they work here?
I unfortunately would not know. But either way, pretty nice game that we saw here. And now I have a cat on my lap.
Oh, sorry. I thought I smelled mint chip ice cream. No, seriously. What is your cat like? What is your cat's name?
I have 2 cats. The one that's currently on me right now is named Nala.
Aww.
Yes, she's
No.
very lovely.
What about the other one?
The other one is named MB, and that's because he's orange.
No. Is he also sweet?
I'll get back to you on that.
Nah. I have a cat at home too. Klaus is really sweet, but ever since my brother moved out, he's taken to biting me a little bit more on my hand. I'm over here like, I'm just trying to pet you.
Yeah, same thing happens with MB, but I would like to hope and assume that they are bites of love.
Yeah, I mean, the cats can hold back even if they are angry at their humans, if they trust you enough.
All right, that is true. Actually, it is actually 2-0 in low cortisol's favor. I don't know if you caught that because the colors are swapped. It's a bit mixed matched right now, but
I'm crying.
hey, things are bound to happen. Things are bound to happen. You never know.
Shout out to our lovely TO Oxy. Just beautiful work. Actually, I'm being so for real. She works so hard.
I agree. She definitely works so hard.
The stream is beautiful.
The stream is amazing. There's nothing wrong with the stream. It is absolutely perfect.
The true stream are the friends we made along the way. And we are the stream. And we're all great. Like, come on.
Up next, we're gonna have Humpback Pump Track. Another map where certain weapons are not gonna be in favor, and I think Leader is gonna have a struggle a bit here if they do bring it. Especially with that Frozen Pro on the horizon.
We're gonna be off to the races. We have we're off to the races here, as Pat would say. We've got the Rainmaker. I wonder what the Rainmaker tastes like.
Okay, now I need you to hear me out. I forgot what they're called. I think it's called yakisoba. It's those like little fish treats that you see in Japan. I think it tastes like that. You bite into that, and it's gonna be filled with filling. We are getting a nice pick there, hoping to save itself. 3 picks from the leader,
Ooh.
including the Rainmaker. That is massive. They're gonna be able to move this Rainmaker up pretty far right here.
Indeed they are. I think they're going to take the checkpoint, but we've got back over here. You know, it's kind of interesting. I'm not even going to say it. Look, that would just be another Shark Tank moment. I'm not going to say it. Don't think it will say. Mouse was already ink over there, but we're already going to go and probably take the checkpoint, maybe. Mouse, please.
Out comes
the
Reef.
shark. Mouse.
They're one.
Oh, Mouse. I'm calling you out.
All that's left is
No.
their Wiper. Looks like they're sharking, trying to do something with the Rainmaker, I'm assuming.
No, I really like the shark. Oh, sneaky.
A secret dunk?
Sneaky.
So close, so close. But you know what? I respect them trying to go for that play. That is a very respectable play.
It's a little bit too early for us to be pulling a Labaka here. It's not Riptide. What are we doing, folks? This is too early. This is way too early to be pulling that kind of stuff. I see what you're doing, though. But this is a very bad position for the Rainmaker for all sides, because it's extremely awkward. Maybe it's a little bit worse for Yikes No Idea, but... Or at least low cortisol, I should say.
Yeah, at the very least, they aren't able to get that check.
I would suggest probably waiting until they come out. Yep, there they are. There's a chance. Mouse. Okay, so you got one of them. Cool.
No.
I'm only calling out Mouse because I know them very well. Otherwise, I'd be like, okay, this player's doing normal stuff.
That is a delayed wipe because the other team is barely spawning in. That was a really nice shot from the leader.
Down. Wi-Fi diff is diffing people out here, almost getting diffed by that Wiper, and they did.
They got diffed by the Wiper, indeed. Wiper moving into mid. Getting another pick, trading. Out comes the Reef to stop that push once again, but it seems like they might be able to get this check. We do have the Wiper there, not able to get the kill, but unfortunately going down too. It looks like they're trying to just force check. I'm sorry. It looks like they're trying to force they're trying to just force points at the moment, it seems, and they're just getting hard punished for that right now.
Yeah, it's leading to a lot of staggering. It's not the best strategy, especially when you're already in the lead. You don't want to just keep giving them the Rainmaker. When you've got like 1 minute and 25 seconds left, the best thing to do is just to do like Wi-Fi diff is just defend the Rainmaker. Well, they're not in the lead right now, but still, sometimes you just gotta let it reset.
Absolutely. Oh, we have a bubble. I'm not sure. It looks like they're the only ones left now, unfortunately. Narwhal trying to go for the hammer, getting popped.
Oof.
Are they gonna get
nice
the leader?
That's huge. That's huge.
3 down.
3 down.
So close to the wipeout.
Yo. Okay.
That's a delayed wipe.
going? Where's this gonna keep going? Go for it! Go for it! Let's go!
Run!
Go for it! Run! Nice
Nice!
work, both teams. GG's.
Amazing. Amazing. That wiper
Oh, look
quad
at that
was
map.
very imperative to the game.
Well, that was some good map control for low cortisol here, and their cortisol must be really low because they don't even seem worried about it. I don't know. I think this crossover episode is better than I thought. Not that I thought it was bad, of course, but it was just something I wasn't expecting because never would I have expected Dognor, Arcader, and Mouse to be on the same team. And that's not to deride or anything. That's to say, it's like a crossover episode of two of your favorite shows. You don't expect them to be in the same universe, but they work amazing together once they are. Really fun. Like a really fun episode to watch.
Absolutely. Very exciting to see. We're gonna go ahead and take a short break here while we ready up the next match.
Drink water. shall drink water. Otherwise, I'm taking your mint chip by force. We are back with Shark Tank, Shallow Waters 37. We are about to get into it with Dubious Yakitori Steakhouse versus Cookie Monster. What kind of cookies do you think they have over there?
Of all the cookies that I would want them to have, I hope at the very least they have red velvet.
Yes! You know! First name you know! Last name Ball!
No.
Yes! Yes! You know Ball! Because red velvet cookies are some of the greatest cookies that have ever invented on this planet, okay?
Absolutely, I'm so happy someone else agrees. I rarely get red velvet cookies, but when I do, oh, it just melts in my mouth. I love it so much.
The cafe down the road stuff. But they're expensive. It's like $4 a cookie. For that amount of money, those better be the best cookies this side of the coast. Because, wow.
Unfortunately, the economy has gotten so out of whack that $4 for one singular cookie does not sound all that bad.
I've seen the gas prices around here. I drive by them all the time. I'm like, man, for that price, my car better my car better drive herself. That gas better last months, but it never does.
It never does. You always think it's gonna last a little bit longer, but it lasts way too short. There's never enough gas.
Then you just hear the sound, and you look down at the dreaded symbol of you must pay money to keep driving.
The dreaded monthly subscription of car.
Pretty much. Or like weekly at this rate. Like, it's ridiculous.
Man, I would not pay weekly for Crunchyroll, let alone for gas. That is insane.
Could you imagine like a subscription to a gas station service where it's like if you pay this amount of money per month, like maybe $20 a month, you get unlimited gas?
Never. That would never happen. It would be like you pay $20 a week and you get unlimited gas for one day.
This is so true.
Looks like we're going to Mahi Mahi zones. I personally really like Mahi Mahi even after the changes from Splatoon 1. I think it's still a pretty fun stage, in my opinion.
It really is a fun stage.
I love the water changes. Anytime the water changes levels, I just shout, the stage is getting better. Because it just opens it up so much more. It allows so many different heights, so many different areas to unlock. It really does just make the stage feel more full once the water goes down.
I can get in my element pretty easily on flat zones Mahi Mahi, especially when the water goes down. There's something about this. Something about this map and mode just makes me get in touch with my inner brush man.
I just like it. Feels very cozy. It's a very cozy map mode combination for me.
Gold ship. Okay, we've got an Uma Musume fan out here on the field, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody in between. What else do we have? We have the 52 gal returning. Every time I see a 52 gal, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Some sort of art challenge, but at the same time, I really, really, really am burnt out. Not burnt out, but like, I can't get myself to draw. Ashes is going on without me getting slammed by that roller frame one.
Extremely scary. Pen also going down to the roller. Roller's getting some pretty good picks here. They're trying to fight the tent, but the tent's able to jump out in time. But they get the carbon roller. That is 3 kills, all to that one roller.
Yeah, but they've got size neutrality here with a proper 4v4. Dubious Yakitori's Steakhouse is currently in the lead with 67 points. I hate the internet. 6-7, 6-7. But water level
6-7.
is finally dropping, so we're gonna see what Cookie Monster can do as Ashes goes down, as the water starts to recede here.
Yeah, we see the heavy propping themselves up on Snipe. They're looking at the pen. They're trying to get a pick, but that pen's just a bit too far for that heavy to reach, unfortunately.
What do you think's gonna happen next? Do you think Cookie Monster is gonna get the chance to get out there again?
Looks like they already are. It looks like they're doing their best to take zone, and they grab it. That Tent Shield coming in handy, painting up essentially half of the zone for free.
Indeed, they have. And Goldship, I want to point out, Goldship's pretty good at what they do here. I don't know them personally, but I want to keep my eye on them. I already saw 2 go down on Dubious Yakitori, which gives them the size advantage to keep their zone a little bit longer. We've got Hammer not getting any picks, but instead getting picked off by something else. It's just really scrappy here in zone.
I believe it was the Carbon Roller that picked him off, but the Carbon Roller did get rolled over by another roller, which got rolled over by the 52 gal. Because, of course, 52 gal rolls over everything.
Yeah, it really does now. 52 gal will just mow down everything. Even Clash Blaster, brushes, rollers, tents. It's wild.
Looks like Cookie Monster's trying to take zone, and they do. Heavy goes down, and that is a massive nerf to Dubious Yakitori's pain output.
Oh yeah, because Cookie Monster's got the size advantage and the paint advantage, we're gonna start moving in. At least that's what I would want to do on Cookie Monster, but yet we are at size neutrality once again with a 3v3. I feel like there's a series of 1v1s happening right now, which may or may not influence the destiny of the zone here.
Yes, absolutely. I do not see that roller anywhere. Oh, because it's dead. I did not realize the roller was down. Ten Shield's going out, and Zuka getting a double kill. All that's left is the roller now.
That's huge, because Sin ended up giving them the size advantage that they needed to keep zone a little bit longer. And while everybody else is having their funerals in the middle of the match, Goldship and Ashes are working together to keep Dubious out of mid. And this is some good positioning here. Carbon rollers can really scare a lot of players. I feel like there's a roller meta. Oh, we almost took a bath. I feel like there's a 52 gal meta and a roller meta happening at the same time. And we're gonna take lead. That's the lead switch for Dubious.
Nice.
For Cookie Monster, I should say.
Yeah. Dubious Yakitori does take zone, thankfully, because their heavy is up, and as we all know, heavy is a paint bot in this current meta. No one's able to contest the paint of a heavy so far as I know. The paint output on that weapon is absolutely absurd, completely denying a lot of area with just one charge.
Pretty wild what you can do with a single charge. We've already got 3 down on the side of Yakitori, with only the Dread remaining. Whether the Dread makes it or not is up to them, and they get picked off. That's honestly unfortunate. What can you do in that? Okay, that's just a tent heating up on the ledge. The tent ledge peak goes insane.
Without a doubt, that tent just does not allow them to move anywhere towards that area. And giving that carbon cover is great. Out comes Azuka with a bubble to counter it. Cookie Monster might get the lead here if they're able to hold zone.
Ooh.
But there's so many people down right now. Dubious takes zone, thankfully. They are able to have a comeback here if they can hold the space. Their heavy is still up, so that heavy is going to be able to keep zone painted their color.
It seems like they keep having size disadvantage on Dubious Yakitori, and that'll be enough to give them the zone just right then and there. Or Cookie Monster.
You think if they were able to add custom victories, Cookie Monster would just eat cookies the way Cookie Monster does?
I haven't seen Sesame Street in eons, but I think so.
I haven't either. Last time I remember seeing Sesame Street was a long time ago. I was on a road trip with some family, and my younger siblings were watching in the car. They have one of those cars with the screen up atop. Very cool.
Yeah.
I always wanted to own a car like that, and then I grew up and realized I would be so distracted on the road if I had something like that. Because then I could watch Madagascar while I drive.
Yeah, and I saw a car like that in front of me the other day. I was delivering food. Yes, I work as an independent contractor as a delivery driver. I'm not going to say which company, but um, I was driving behind this minivan with a movie playing. It was Ponyo, and you should have seen me. I was at the red light. I was at the red
Man,
light. I'm just looking over. I'm just leaned over my steering wheel, and I'm just watching Ponyo.
man,
And I
if I
was
had a
so
car,
sad when the light turned green. I was like, no, I'm at the good part.
if I had a car in front of me playing a movie like the SpongeBob movie, I would genuinely just follow them until the movie ends, and then be like, okay, what was I doing again? Like, I'm completely forgetting my initial task.
Not that I would condone that, but I also would not find it too unbelievable if somebody's had that happen to them. Be like, oh, sorry, I was watching the movie.
Imagine that you're playing a movie for your kids in the back seat, and then you have a car following you for like half an hour. You're scared. You pull over, and the car like pulls over also. And then like, hey,
No.
they come to you like, hey, can I just like watch the movie real quick?
Well, that's only gonna end two ways, unfortunately. It's not always great.
Unfortunately not. All right, this match we're gonna have Rainmaker on Crab Leg. Now, I don't mean to continue glazing this heavy, but having run speed on Great,
Nah, we played
especially
you.
on this map, is amazing.
Is this
I love this map purely because of the fact I get to use my run speed here, and it feels nice.
Narukami had a good position here with the pencil. Narukami, when you're done with that pencil, can I have it for my art project? Thank you. Ooh,
Unfortunately, no.
Coulson Neo, the way they were matrixing those Trizuka shots, I want a replay of that. That was beautiful.
And while all this was happening, Dubiazaki Tori ended up taking first check on the far left over here, and they're gonna
Wait a
keep on
second.
pushing it.
I thought it was Tower for a moment. I'm like, where's the tower? It's Rainmaker.
It is indeed Rainmaker. It looks like they just want to keep on pushing it. Out comes Azuka, getting
Well,
a pick on the rain, stopping that push in its tracks.
that rain carrier lived for a long time. So what Sin's gonna I don't know what Sin's gonna do, but I'd assume that they're scheming. We got the back coming out and a pick going down. Or at least somebody getting picked off on the side of Dubious.
I wonder how that Rainmaker died. Most
Yep.
likely to that heavy, but they had a backup.
Ooh.
That back looked like it was covering them.
Yeah, it really does. I love the teleportation here. That's some high level gameplay. This is between seed
Ooh, nice double on the reef.
14 and 13.
So these two are pretty even. We're gonna see some pretty even matches today then.
Indeed, we are. Gold Ship is doing what carbon rollers love to do best. They're poking and they're camping and getting picked off by random hammers. We love to see it.
The passive pastime of every single carbon roller, getting picked off by a hammer that just pops out of nowhere.
I mean, it makes sense. And Row ends up getting that pick too. We're ledge camping in the middle of Platoon.
Absolutely. Zuka not quite gonna find any picks here, it seems. Rain wants to try and push it to the right. Out comes a vac though, and that vac is gonna be really scary if they can't take it out.
Yeah, it really is. But you know what's scarier? This Brella. This Brella has been picking off folks left and right since the step began.
And you can
And
tell because they have popped aura too.
yeah, they have. They're currently ore farming. We love to see Brella ore farming in this household. Unfortunately, one goes down both sides. So now we've got size neutrality as a 3v3. At least we did just long enough. Heavy, I don't see why we have stopped. But look at that map control. Look at that. Cookie Monster has the size advantage and the paint advantage. Actually, not
Very
size
purple.
advantage anymore, but like, look at this map control. Holy, terrible.
Very purple. Or blue. I cannot tell.
I think it's blue.
It looks like a purple to me, if you ask me.
It did go. Excuse me, it's kind of late over here.
That is completely valid. Heavy up here just painting up the map, trying to get back all that control that Cookie Monster took over. And doing a pretty good job of it too, I might say.
Yeah, Wavebreaker comes out. Why is my stomach growling? I just ate dinner a few hours ago. Not heavy edit, but this is a heavy in a good spot.
Absolutely. Reef comes out and gets a pick on, I believe that was the Carbon. And there goes another jump out. So Dubious Yakitori currently has the area control at the moment. And they look like they still want to keep pushing it to the right.
If you were fighting on the side of Cookie Monster, what would your next choice be to try to get a lead over Dubious Yakitori?
I think something we need to do, have that tent move in on the left half of the map. Moving in from the left check. That completely takes away attention from at least 2 players because they have to deal with the tent. And that allows everyone to push in right check. Or vice versa. Tent goes right check, everyone else goes left check. Make everyone look at that tent.
Solid. That's actually pretty solid. Having a skirmisher is really important. We have a Trizuka coming out, not getting any picks, unfortunately, and we're stuck down in the middle of a 1v1, not having our opportunity to get the rain back.
Did you see that? That was 1 point. That was like 2 points to lead. That was so close.
It was. Yeah, it was. I feel like if the roller didn't stay in mid, but there wasn't a lot that they could have done because everybody else was up there getting picked off, and roller got jump scared by another person. They had the Trizuka, which was. Oh, wait a minute! We're still in it. I am throwing. I thought just.
No, the roller was. I think the roller was on Dubious Yakitori's side. They were trying to Zuka the Rainmaker specifically. Well, we are 1-1. Next.
Thought. Sorry.
I was just gonna say next up is Barnacle and Dime, and I love Barnacle and Dime. I was having a discussion about this earlier today. I was actually having a discussion about this earlier today. So do we remember when everyone was trying to call Plat Snipe? Just that entire wooden board area. Everyone was just trying to call that Snipe.
I call it Snipe.
You call it Snipe?
I call everything Snipe.
You know, you're not wrong. A charger could be standing anywhere, so anywhere could be Snipe if you really try hard enough.
If you're brave enough, anything can be Snipe. You're right. Like, but as a brush, I'm usually just everywhere all at once.
Yeah, I've seen some pretty high level charger players take absolutely insane positions, very wacky. They get such good value off of it just because they're better.
They're just better.
They're just better, genuinely. I do agree it is Plat, but I'm just reminiscing of when we tried to call it Snipe, but it's not Snipe. That area of the map will never be Snipe, ever.
This reminds me of that one meme, he will never be balling.
Ooh, 2 carbon rollers. We're gonna see some carbon on carbon action here. Very exciting. Now, I don't think I ever mentioned this, but I used to play a lot of carbon roller before I switched to Splatlings. So
but look at this. Sorry, you go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm very excited to see how these carbons face off each other.
It doesn't seem like there's much carbon versus carbon right now because Narukami has. I don't know if they're the one who got the 3-piece, but somebody got a triple out there.
Yep, that was 3 down on Cookie Monster. and they're taking their time. They're pushing up. They have 2 balls currently in play.
Yeah, we do. And with 2 dunks under the belt here, under our belts here, we've got size advantage is not really a thing right now. We've just got neutrality, but we do have paint advantage, and we are looking at the basket. We love basket cam in this household, and I
I
mean that
sure do love
sincerely.
basket cams.
I mean that sincerely too. Like, basket camera gives you a good perspective. Even if nobody's there, you can at least see who can get in, who can't get in, who's gonna have trouble getting out.
You
Lots
could
of
also see
little
the
micro things.
possibility of a flank by a sneaky
Oh,
brush.
look at that! Did you see that? Did
I
you
saw
see
that.
that,
I
Julian?
believe we
Did
both
you,
saw that, Dooley.
bro? Rest in peace to that Julia's main. I'm so I
As my
feel
good Dooley
fine.
friend would put it, they rolled off the map.
I felt
Carb
their pain.
Without a doubt. Carbon has a Zuka. It looks like they're trying to get any picks, but it does not seem like they find anyone, unfortunately. And a crab comes out to contest it.
Crab, crab. I like that meme, the crab meme. But the crab doesn't get any value, and Row ends up going down. Hold up, is that name Row 319 an hour? $3.19 an hour. What job do you work? You need better payment, my dog. I'm sorry.
Unfortunately,
Bro,
where I live, I think if I were to get that much an hour, depending on the job, I might take it genuinely.
you know what? Honestly, fair, because hunting for jobs is really tough right now. Gold ship going down, and this carbon roar is fighting for their lives. But
They're popping
Ashes
off.
goes down.
Those are some pretty great
Yeah,
carbon kills. Amazing flicks. We
yeah,
love to see that.
that substrafing though, I'm really impressed. Sin
We
is
have
being protected over here, but getting caught
they,
out.
po-
But
they popped out their Zuka trying to find a pick. Did not seem like they get anyone with it, unfortunately. I think Crab was also popped a bit far back, if you ask me.
yeah, it kind of was. But if you were on Cookie Monster right now, what would you be doing to try to get a ball in, like get some points on the board?
I would do my favorite combo of all time. Put the carbon in tent shield and let them go ham.
Yes.
just,
Oh, Cookie
just
Monster has a size advantage. Cookie Monster has size advantage, and we've got points on the board for Cookie Monster. Commentators blessing out here as we have no point advantage yet, but 68 points. We're one away from the meme. If somebody could just drop it in, we're not dropping anything in right now. 65 versus 60 points. Oh, we're so close,
getting
yo!
oh,
Both
those
get
clams
down.
just missed the timer. So unfortunate. And it looks like Pity was also
That was
accidentally
really
picked up.
exciting. It was really exciting to see. We've got a ball on the field right now for both teams. Flame Economy is doing well, Ash is going down, and Carbon's gonna get picked off by Gold Ship here on the Carbon Roar.
Gold Chip
Oh, if
running
I'm lucky.
straight into the wiper though. So unfortunate.
Getting scrappy. Getting scrappy. They've already got a ball over there. But that's for them. I was gonna say they're gonna start
Ted's just
teasing.
Ted's just living in their shield. No one's able to take down that 10. They're not able to kill him.
They're untouchable. Gold Ship going down, and oh wait, oh yeah, that tent is really untouchable. Sin cannot be stopped.
We say as Sin goes down.
Collier's first.
We do have a Zuka and a Crab over here on Cookie Monster, which could be game-changing specials. That Reef Slider was just canceled. Absolutely insane here.
They were bunked out of existence. We're gonna try to bonk the other carbon? Maybe? Wait a minute.
They are one point. They are one clam. They just need one clam here.
Hold up. Wait, what? No, wait a minute. I think it's too much of a size disadvantage for them to try again. And that's it for them. That is the match, and it goes to Juvius Yakitori Steakhouse.
One clam away from the lead. That is so unfortunate to see. But these were some really great matches here. Very even all across the board, I'd say.
You're right, and the best thing is it's just groups, so I think everybody, well, oh, Equinox dropped out. Everybody gets a bracket either way, so
Yay!
rest
I
in
would like
peace,
to.
Equinox.
I'd like to say real quick. I love both of these profile pictures. Cookie Monster having the Star Arcana from Persona, and then Dubious Yakitori Steakhouse having the unmentionable food from Breath of the Wild.
I love the unmentionable food. And we're going to go on to break. Be sure to eat some food, or else you're going to have uh, I don't know. I don't know
You're
what
gonna
you're
have a
gonna
bad
have.
time.
I was gonna stay away from that, but yeah, you're gonna have a bad time. Eat some food. Your blood sugar's screaming. Go eat some food. Please.
And we're back here at Shallow Waters number 37. Our next match, we're going to have Agenda, who, from what I know, made it to finals in the last Shark Tank, versus Let's Go Bloom Together, who has consistently been making it to gold bracket.
I love the Pikmin! I love the orange, okay, purple Pikmin!
Orange is my favorite Pikmin color. Man, if they had an
Moku
orange Pikmin, what
colorblind
would it do is the question. What would an orange Pikmin even do?
Maybe it could be something like the Ultra Hand from not Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. Like, you stick multiple of them together and they can hold everything all at once.
That does
I
sound like a
guess.
very interesting idea. That'd be very cool to see. Over on Agenda, it seems like their team consists of 2 players who play Flatlings. If I see doubles Flatling, I'm gonna pop off.
Let's go!
Yeah.
I've been waiting to see Brush.
We also have a bucket and a gal/bucket player. And then let's see, Let's Go Bloom Together seems to have a backline. What else do they got? They got here a support painter. They do have someone who plays a brush.
Who?
And they have a tent.
What kind of brush? What kind of brush are you talking about?
V brush.
Let's go! Let's go! I love seeing V-Brush.
Man, I love seeing Hydra. I need to see a Hydra here today, right now. I cannot lie. Undertow Spillway is a very interesting map, in my opinion. Not the biggest fan of it because it is just an hourglass. There's one way in, one way out. And once you go in, it is hard to push back.
You're completely right. That's probably why a lot of people like going to the left check, right?
Absolutely, because it gives you more space, more room. Right check is a lot faster. We see a Hydra here. Very exciting. Very happy about the Hydra.
And we're off to the races. Dorado is my goat too. We've got 52 gal. Yeah, they're a 52 gal main. But there's no brushes here in this composition. And already, I think we're gonna start trying to push in, but they're holding each other back, don't you think?
Absolutely. That Charger is keeping that Hydra in check. The Hydra cannot peek without the Charger looking at it, because that's exactly what happens. They just get completely picked off. 2 kills go into the Charger, and they go left check.
Indeed they do. And with that check free now, how long do you think it'll take for them to break through Agenda's defenses? Ooh, as they go down, never mind. Dorado, I don't even know if you had the quad there or not, but that was impressive.
Very impressive. Already, we're trying to move Rainmaker very fast to the left, and we have a Vac here to help protect it. Junior trying to go for a flank, unfortunately not going to make it. We're likely going to see Reef get out, but it was canceled by the Vac. Insane here.
Now, I'm noticing that Agenda is doing some staggering here, though.
It does look like they are, but I believe they were cool at last push. So hopefully that lets them get in again pretty well here. Looks like we have over here the 96 gal getting pushed by 3 players going down to that bucket.
I want to give special mention to Paluthis over here. So, I believe they'll have to take it over to the left side, and of course they do, but they're getting here really fast, and they go down to that Booyah Bomb.
I did not even see that Booyah Bomb come out, it was so fast. Now, we do have someone sharking there, no one seems to see it. I believe that's the Carbon Roller sharking.
Ah yes, a shark in their natural habitat.
It is actually the Junior sharking.
The Junior. We love to see it.
Sharking Junior, as is average. It seems like Agenda is clumped up a lot on the left here, but they do get the picks, so they're able to pop the Rainmaker. A bit of an early grab if you ask me, but that Zuka's gonna help cover them for that.
I want to give special mention to Palethus. Their dread. I want to say more about their dread, but it seems like Agenda keeps trying to surprise me because they really are surprising me. Dreadringer's pretty good in most situations, but I feel like in Rainmaker it really struggles, at least on this map, because you've got the teams taking it to the left most of the time. I feel like Dreadringer might actually benefit from more predictability. Am I wrong?
No, I don't think you're wrong. The paint from Dread is very nice, but that Reef is able to, if anyone's clumped up in an area, that Reef just shuts them down immediately. I've had moments where one single Reef gets 3 of my players because we happen to be clumped up in an area that's incredibly important. And there are a lot of those here in Undertow.
Undertow Spillway is a very chaotic map. Paluthus is taking the Rainmaker. I didn't even notice they had the Rainmaker. They've got the size advantage here with the Tri-Slosher going down to the Rainmaker and
It is just
it
a
was
shot
just a shot
jumping
left.
out. That shot's going to have to save it Zuka to try and stop this push here if they want to do it. But the vac comes out. Dread tries getting him from the
Ooh.
backside, though. Getting both the rain and the vac. Are they going to get the quad or the triple? They do get a
They
triple.
are.
You love to see it here. Out comes the Booyah Bomb. Likely going to go to the left half. In mid, trying to push out that Charger. Charger doesn't die, thankfully, but they still have the high ground.
It's kind of looking like a little desperate situation here on the left bend of the map. Zumi is covering for their team as we have the final checkpoint down. Agenda taking the match. What do you think Let's Go Bloom Together had to have done to prevent that little push there?
Well, to be fair, the biggest thing you could have done is just stop the vac before it even comes out. Because once the vac comes out, if you can't get that vac out, that essentially gives the Rainmaker free reign to do whatever they want. They can move left, right, up, down. They could even move side to side if you think about it.
Yeah, really. I agree with you. InkVac is really, really tough to navigate around.
Especially on a mode like Rainmaker, where your checkpoint is one tiny little object that can be completely covered by the vac. So unless you get that vac out, there is nothing you can really do to stop any vac pushes whatsoever.
You know what I like to do with InkVacs, though? I like to either get behind them, or I just like, I don't know how they fall for it every single time, but as a brush, I will just spin in circles as they vacuum in my direction, and then they want to solo ult me. But because I've done it so much, I can tell that microsecond before the projectile comes out, so I can dodge it and get a get a drop on the ink back.
Man, I wish I could do that, but my best choice is to just gun down the vac and kill them before they get the shot off. That's all I can really do. Uh, Up
Yeah,
next, we're
my
gonna have
my
Mako zones. Oh, sorry.
oh, you're fine. My strategy doesn't always work. Mako zones, we are back at the building again. I always need Mako zones. We got a Hydra coming out, okay, and we've got. I thought I saw a Blob Lobber, which honestly would fit with this. We do not see any brushes here.
A blah 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 would be so funny. We are going backless on Let's Go Bloom Together. Likely to take back. Buckets are very happy on this map. They get all the ledges to play around. Same with that Carbon.
And it's funny you should say that because Slosher ended up going down, but at least Let's Go Bloom Together has the lead right now. Veggie going down. Loaf Swag? I really do think you're correct here. Buckets really do enjoy this map because of how fast they can fill up the zone. Palithus, though, is scheming.
They have that reach slider ready at any moment. That is gonna go to zone. They're gonna get the cap here, without a doubt. Reach slider just is that evil.
For a while, it looked like they weren't going to get the zone cap. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say we're likely gonna see Carbon Roller coming up to right stack to completely clear it. before trying to go all the way around to just get any sneaky picks they can. Like that one right there on the 52.
Carbon Ore is also kind of diabolical on this map because you can ledge guard and do that like a Smash Bros. We're
And
getting a double with that and almost going down to the Booyah Bomb. That was some beautiful choreography between 3 of those players.
absolutely. We have the trial we are trying to flank, taking attention, which does give the Hydra a pick. 2 picks, actually. And that gives Agenda the zone. I believe that is a delayed wipe, if I'm correct.
If they can get the Slosher, indeed it would be an unofficial wipeout, as an old friend of mine used to say. Now, I think what they're going to do is keep them out of mid. That's something you'll want to do if you want to keep your zone, but I feel like there's 2 specials online for Let's Go Bloom Together. Yep, we've got the shark coming out, which is going to cap the zone, and
Right stack getting
these are
completely demolished. Down goes, who's that, the 52? Are they going to be able to live this interaction, or are they going to die? It looks like they
they get the jump
unfortunately
on
get
them.
picked. Hydra is getting
So
zooked, so they have to move out.
I couldn't help but notice that Hydra has been pushed way out of position. They're really weak, and even though they got a pick and they end up going back to base, it's really huge when you can get a backline out of position like that. You can use whales, you can use just about anything. You can scare a Hydra. It feels great to do
Absolutely.
that, but whoa, what did we get? Okay, try Slosher. I thought you died from the wall.
That would have been amazing to see. I think
I've
what
done
this
it
try
before.
should do right now is just camp under ledge, and anyone who tries to drop down, just punish them for that. Do not let them near the left ledge. That just completely denies all the space for them.
I love how back and forth this battle has been because both teams have had a turn being in the lead right now. Let's Go Bloom Together has the lead currently with sides advantage briefly,
Hydra is
but it
alone.
seems like, oh yeah, and Dorado getting bonked, Fang getting bonked. Who else is getting bonked out here?
Who else is going to
So,
get the bonk action from this carbon roller? I want to see it.
would you say that there's a fair amount of staggering in this battle though, from both sides?
I would say so. I do believe that that they have been staggering a little bit. Let's Go Bloom is actually taking the lead pretty soon here. If the agenda doesn't cap the zone soon, this might just be the game for them. Reef coming out to try and hold the zone. Booyah Bomb. It is just the Hydra. Can Hydra paint over? They cannot. That's 1 point to Let's Go Bloom.
Alright, so we're now at match point for both teams here. So what did you have to say about that battle? Like, what stuck out to you the most?
I think the left ledge was only really utilized by the carbon. I didn't see the try. I didn't see the dread or the slosher sticking under the left snipe, which is a great area for any AoE weapon of any kind, because they just cannot touch you while you're there.
No, they really can't. It's a really awkward spot from what I've seen. And with my limited brush knowledge, I think if there was a way that Agenda could have won this past match, I believe there, like I was saying about the staggering, I think a little bit more coordination would have gone a long way. I can't exactly analyze the comps too well just because both of the comps seemed well rounded to me, but did you see any specialization from the comp so far?
Uh, it looks like Let's Go Bloom Together is really trying to. I believe it's Let's Go Bloom Together. They're trying to give the paint for the carbon roller to be able to pop off and make insane plays like it did. Because Carbon Roller really needs that paint. So they have the Junior and the Dread both supplying paint to that Carbon's ferocity.
I mean, we'll have a team that supports their melee weapons.
I'm sorry, what did you say? I could not hear that.
Sorry, I was away from the mic.
It's alright.
I'm trying to remember what I said. Oh, right. So we love a team that supports our melee weaponry. And I think
Absolutely.
I'm understanding what support for a melee weapon is starting to look like. Even though I'm a brush main of like 2.5 years, I've played enough 1v1s, and I'm over here like, man, I wish I had more paint. But this right here is going to be match point for both teams. This is for all the ball rules, even though it is just rules.
Now,
But
this
it
is a
depends
battle
on.
I personally love to see. Torrent's Hydra with the bubble, able to hold its ground very well against a leader who might be able to stop it before it gets off the bubble.
Citrus has the tower first, popping a nice bubble here, but getting pushed out by that Booyah Bomb, not before getting punished by a Slosher as Dorado goes in for it. I think Dorado is going to end up being a key player in them getting through because Betsy Boy is already down. They've taken the lead. So, yeah, so Dorado is the definition of a skirmisher that I would count on.
Absolutely. Now, right 10 obviously is really important to hold here, so that's why we're all trying to attack it and keep everyone outside of that area. Unfortunately, it seems like people are going down here, but the Hydra just completely mows down anyone in its path.
Screen. I forgot that. I forgot to mention screen here. I'm so glad they fixed screen, but and this was like several updates ago, but they need to fix it again. Nogami has forsaken us. Just like the Hydra jumps back to the base, but it's probably gonna jump back in here. I feel like Agenda has been bottlenecked a little bit.
Does seem like it. That they're just getting oppression from all angles. We have bombs flying out left and right from the junior. That was a kill before bubble went up. That is impressive.
Indeed, it was. Frame perfect, if I may add. And with Carbon Roar trying to get a pick, Zumi goes down, and so does Paluthist. Something useful about Screen, though, is that you could just throw things through it, and 9 times out of 10, get a pick. Citrus trying to escape their fate, but getting picked off by Dorado anyway. Dorado seems to always know where the opponents are, even if they're super sneaky. I can vouch for this as a brush.
Now, you have the leader here in a pretty good position. We are likely going to go to it to try and push it out of that area. Reef getting a pick on that. Nope, they jump out right before they can get the pick. Agenda is trying to push the tower, but so long as that leader is in right tent, nowhere is safe. That tower is a no-go zone.
No squid, no inkfish land, indeed. We got paint advantage for Let's Go Bloom Together, which gives them the opportunity to start pushing in if they'd love to. With size advantage, they can now do some more rush downs.
Zuka
Dorado
coming
getting
out.
picked off by Zuka.
All that's left is the Hydra on Agenda, which is likely pushed back up in its right tent. And with that leader sitting there, just being able to watch the ledge, no one's going to really able to go on unless the Hydra mows down leader and Carbon Roller in the same shot.
But I really did like that chaining that they tried to do with the Carbon Roller and their teammate, is that in the event somebody goes down, you end up getting on the tower anyway. If Fane was not there, they would have had the tower. Zumi going down. Fane is the definition of an anchor I would trust on my team, just because they always know where to go. Citrus is in the middle of a skirmish with another player, but I guess they get to escape, which sometimes is the best option.
Now, what we need right now is we need a little bit more paint for that Carbon to be able to make this entire area its playground. We have another Bubble on Tower, which I've been seeing a lot of. Bubble on Tower isn't bad, but I believe for this current state of the game, a Bubble somewhere, say, in court would be a lot more positive, because that gives you so much more area to just deny the enemy from going. But it looks like despite that, they might be able to get a lead off of this. So long as they're able to hold the tower for a little bit, that's 1 point for lead.
That's wild. Saving it from the jaws of defeat, Agenda now has to hold onto the tower for so long, depending. Like, it's not even the longest time to hold a tower, but when everything's happening around you, it can feel like a very long time until it doesn't. You know what I mean? It feels
Now we
too
have the.
long.
No, I think the best thing for this leader to do is just look at tower and try to take it down. With, but
They get left peek.
they unfortunately do, and that is a point lead for Agenda. And with a few seconds on the clock, no one's able to take that tower, giving Agenda the game. And Seb by proxy.
GG's both teams.
You can see with just how yellow the map is, the Carbon Roller did not have the space or paint for it to be able to do exactly what it wanted, which I think is what ended up making Let's Go Bloom Together losing this match, unfortunately, because Carbon Roller is a very paint-needing weapon that cannot paint for itself.
This is true. Even though it can make its own paint, you're absolutely right in that it depends on the support of the people around it. Melee weapons are just like that, except if we're talking about mid decab and wiper. For some reason, they're just built different. They're built to be maximum evil. My cat's scratching on the door.
Well, I think that cat means it's time for a small break. We will see you guys up next with round 4. And we are back here once again. Shark Tank Shallow Waters number 37 here. And I had a pretty good break. How about you, Moku?
Did y'all feed your cats?
I already fed my cats. I feed them every single time I come back from work. So they are fed. They are happy. I can promise you that.
No, I was talking about the audience. I believe that you take care of your cat.
Thank you. All right. Our next match is going to consist of 4 cats in a trench coat versus Drazlock. Now, some of these players I have seen before. Some of them I know. Specifically, Ivy Mouse, who is a Hydra main. Now, I for one don't have any weapon bias whatsoever at all. You can trust me on this. But I'm very happy to see Ivy Mouse here.
And I'm loving what I'm seeing here. There are a couple goats I remember on Drazlock. We have 28 Twist from Crankin 28. I'm a fan of the team. And we got Crackhead from DSI or Deep Sea International. And you got 4 cats in a trench coat. Wow. You've got Winds, Golden, Eden, my goats, or my friends. Beam. You've got some fans here at the commentary booth.
It's me.
And
I'm the fan.
I'm one of the fans too. And Ivy Mousey, I feel like I've seen you around before.
They are a very dreaded Hydra player. I've actually gone up against them in X rank one time, and they wiped me. Like, no diff, essentially. So I'm very excited to see their gameplay here.
I want to see them in a 1v1 with Hero from Blank.
That would be very interesting to watch. Our first match, we're going to take it to ship-shape tower control. Now, I've already told about my grievances on ship-shape, but I think tower control is a little better because instead of having those massive overhangs, they're just small stacks, similar to Mako Mart, I'd say.
Cursed. It's cursed. We got our brush. We got our first brush of the tournament. Let's go! Second brush of the tournament. Let's go!
Now, I see 2 Splotlings here on both teams. We have, I believe that is Remy, which is Zuka farm, essentially. And then obviously the Hydra that I spoke of earlier.
And we got 1 brush going down on the side of Drazlock, and we have the tower not yet claimed by anybody. Sure, you got 3 points for Drazlock, but it's not.
This Hydra's going very aggressive. They're pushing in pretty fast. Looks like they had to jump out, unfortunately, but they do have a bubble saved, and that bubble's likely going to help them clear this check here.
Can't help but notice Beam that they're using Nouveau. I respect it. Nouveau.
It looks like they go down on the Nouveau, but the V-Brush is still alive. Maybe there's something there. Maybe you're onto something here.
Well, it's just that with Nouveau, you have to rely on ink mines, and you have to rely on how to drive a hammer. Meanwhile, with V-Brush, you can use your splat bombs just about anywhere, and if you roll your ink bombs, if you roll your splat bombs, you can get further with them, and your whales can be used to pick long-range backlines out of position. At least, if you can make a move, then you can make a difference. Eden's going to jump in here, and we're going to try to avoid these whales. You see what I mean? Because Eden is on the blaster. If you can make a blaster move like that, you're in a pretty good spot.
Absolutely. Beam over here bullying the bow, forcing it to jump out. That's essentially 3 down on Drazlock here. With 4 cats in the trench coat, able to move up pretty fast. Ivy Mouse having a very aggressive bubble. It'll likely be shredded by that bow, but it is enough for them to move all the way to sit to almost second check.
Ooh. That stringer was kind of diabolical too. I remember when you could just stand in front of like a bow projectile and not die, but now you end up getting killed instantly if you do.
Absolutely.
So
Drazlock here being pushed back into their base. Yes, they are. They are unfortunately swapped. So Drazlock is going to be the yellow team, with four cats in a trench coat being the blue team here. That bubble's going to help them shred through the next check. That is essentially a wipeout. If they don't have anything to pull here, this might just be KO, and it is for four cats in a trench coat. That Hydra being extremely oppressive against the other team.
What do you think Drazlock would have had to have done to at least get a good advantage?
One thing is definitely shut down that Hydra. There were a lot of riskier plays that the Hydra made, pushing up fairly far, taking spots you wouldn't normally see a Hydra player. But as soon as they pop that bubble, they essentially had a massive portion of the map all to themselves. No one could contest them. The only person being able to is the bow. But the bow has to shred through the bubble first before being able to even touch the Hydra.
I understand that, yeah. I figured as such. And I feel like we might have been holding back a little bit on the side of Drazlock for ship-shape cargo. Like, there might have been some hesitation, maybe everybody had their own ideas at one point that didn't exactly do much. What do you think?
It did feel like they were scared of some of the players. Specifically, I think the brush really made them scared because it made a lot of the players jump out multiple times, especially that bow. I saw that bow jump out like 4 or 5 times during the entirety of that match because they felt threatened by the enemy team and specifically by that brush.
Rush is a real threat, and I speak for most brush mains when I say it's funny to see somebody jump out because of a brush getting in the zone. And I don't mean in like in flat zone, but when I get in the zone like that, I can end up scaring some Hydra players.
I would be scared if I was in Hydra with you running around me in circles.
Mischievous rat sounds. And we're gonna switch over to Octobrush for Crackhead over here. And we're gonna stay with the Nouveau for Beam.
Now, E-Leader already going down to that blaster because Custom Blaster is a menace in this patch. 2 down already on Drazlock here. I believe. Yes. Now, this is something I wanted to point out earlier. The subs being run on Drazlock is 2 beacons and 2 suction bombs.
You're absolutely right. This is the type of map and mode where you just have to keep people in their elbows. Otherwise, if you let them out, you risk losing the zone. Ivy Mousy going down was only the sort of a chain reaction of four cats in a trench coat getting that wipeout, which was huge because now it's their turn to set up some s'mores and keep them in their base. But it seems like they're at size disadvantage right now.
Absolutely. That pick on the leader was really good. However, one thing that they do not notice yet is beacons. There are beacons being placed by both the leader and that mini. And if those beacons aren't taken out, any kills are essentially just bait because they can jump back in at any point. 2 down to the hammer here from Beam, which is a pretty impressive.
It really is impressive. That's why I love maining Brush. I remember, I'll tell you the story later, but Beam is out here putting in the work. So, I've seen Beam around on TikTok before. Her videos are pretty cool. Shadow going down, and it just seems like the ink mines are perfect for this map and mode, because you never know where they are. And you can put them in zone, you can put them in the elbow, you can scare a backline with it, as Ivy Mousy does go down, speaking of backlines.
Absolutely nasty pick from the leader, getting the very tippy top of Ivy's forehead, just enough to be able to take him out.
Just a forehead, yeah.
Now, we have Beam over here throwing hammer, trying to get the leader. Doesn't quite get a pick, but does lower them, and is taking away the attention from leader, which allows four cats to take the zone.
I'm looking at what Beam's doing. We got a Kraken in play over by the right-hand side, and with size advantage going to Drazlock, it's only a matter of time before they take back the zone. But wait a minute, four cats in a trench coat are not letting that happen. And in an act of teamwork, they take it back, and we have 2 minutes and 7 seconds to go here, Beige. What do you
Yes.
think? What do you think they'll have to do on the side of Dredgelock or Drazlock if they want to get out there?
So first things first, the yellow team is actually Drazlock. So Drazlock is currently in the hold right now. They have
Oh
mid
wait,
and they are
what?
up in their elbow. Yes. Four cats in a
Colors
trench
are
coat.
swapped again.
Yes, it is. Four cats in a trench coat.
Oh my
Is the
god.
blue team. And from what I'm
Oh.
seeing, what they really need to do is they need to be able to take picks on their melees, specifically that brush, because that brush is taking picks. But unfortunately, even with those picks, no one's able to take the zone, and Drazlock is able to keep zone for this match, giving them a point.
And we're just gonna go to another game 3. So what do you think Four Cats in a Trench Coat would have had to have done?
Uh, I cannot speak for everyone, but I want to see that brush flank more. I want to see that brush just doing circles around the map, running circles around the enemy team.
And as a good friend is saying right now, the Hydra was way too aggressive. I agree with you. The Hydra was kind of out of position. Sometimes you just have to be in the spots that benefit you the most.
Mhm. Absolutely. That I think an aggressive Hydra can be work in the right circumstances, but unfortunately, with a leader on the enemy team and a brush, an aggressive Hydra is only gonna get picked off. It's only gonna get called out for being aggressive.
Yeah, Hydra is more easily punished that way. I'm sure there's some pretty good frontline Hydras, but you can only really do that if you know how to avoid punishment or make some good trades. Like, if you're gonna play like an ink brush, you may have to play by ink brush rules by a bit, but even I don't play by ink brush rules. Let's be so for real. Like, you see my videos on TikTok, I'm just being I'm like a hyper dive brush. I'll just go right in there, steal some ninja ice cream, and just jump back out.
Yes, I do believe in your gameplay. I believe in that. Um I love watching brushes just do their thing. It's always so fun. I could never do it. I pick up brush like, you know what? Today I want to try being the funny brush player. And I just get immediately wiped out for trying to be a funny brush player cuz I just can't do it like y'all do.
It's so real.
Now here we have a swap. I do not believe they were playing Splash last round. But I cannot remember for the life of me what they were playing earlier. Immediately, we could already see the brush causing chaos on the enemy team. Hydra trying to work off that brush, but unfortunately getting picked off by the leader.
This map mode is kind of cursed. I see that we're still sticking to the auto brush as we go down into a trade with Beam, which is huge. Ivy mostly going down to Shadow. We've got size advantage being traded between both teams, and I really love how that there's an equal map advantage. So I'd say that the comps are very equal, or in terms of skill. Like, there's no hyper specialization here.
Yeah, I would say so. We have 3 going down on Drazlock here, with 4 cats in a trench coat able to take check. The Kraken tried their best to stop it, but they could not. Dropping down, which is very unfortunate. When that Kraken transforms, it is likely going to get completely demolished off of this face of the earth.
I want to shout twist here. So that was some good positionings. Unfortunately, we do get punished by Beam on the ink brush. Beam is going to end up putting themselves in a precarious spot if they go into that corner over there. But I really think that if they can hop this ledge, they have a chance at getting, yup, they have a chance of getting, never mind. We are going to get picked off.
Insane
Getting
flick there from the leader.
that
You
was
love to see it. Now,
nasty flick
unfortunately,
work. Ooh, golden, rest in peace. You're not even looking at them.
They're not
Hydra
even
going down once
hitting them, and
again.
they're still taking them one by after another after another. Hydra doing some very weird things here. This Hydra is currently being a brush player, and it cannot pay off for them, unfortunately. They just don't have
No, but that was
the
funny.
charge. It was indeed
No, but that
very
was funny
funny.
though.
It was indeed
Like
very funny.
we love to see Hydra fighting like a brush. I feel like that's a secret brush main. I
Is
feel like
Hydra
they
the new
got put in
brush?
Hydra jail. I feel like
Is
this is a
Hydra the
brush
new
main
brush?
that got stuck in yeah. I feel like this is a brush main that got stuck in Hydra jail for whatever reason. Put them on brush.
Let them be
Free my
silly.
Hydra main.
Let them be
Free my
silly.
Hydra. They've done nothing wrong. Let them be silly, please.
Now we got a bit of an extra point lead over here from 4Cats, but it's not going to be quite all too much here because the point is still anyone's game. Rainmaker being dropped off flat, likely they're going to try and take it around. The thing is, wherever the leader is, I don't know if the leader has good sightlines here. And without good sightlines, that leader's not going to be able to get any good picks here.
No, they're not. And look at all this yellow for forecast in a trench coat. They've got the map control. Crackhead's gonna keep going in for it. And they're gonna try to punish this shooter out here. But they don't get oh
Oh
boy.
no! Not the dreaded communication error! Not
We
the
were at like
dreaded
3 minutes
communication
51.
error!
Were we was this like 3 minutes 51? Or
Well,
what
I am unsure. Is this just a commentator DC or is this an entire lobby DC? Because if it is just a commentator DC, that means the match is still going, and unfortunately, we don't have much to commentate on anymore.
no, I guess unfortunately did we DC? Did we DC?
I am unsure if we DC'd or if the entire lobby DC'd, unfortunately. Game is still going. Okay, so the game is still active. We just don't have any more visuals. So let's try to imagine what's going on. I would like to imagine the Hydra is doing the same sneaky flanks that it was doing earlier, trying to go around, getting punished for it, unfortunately.
But we
We do
have
have a
a
stream
stream
here.
from Crackhead. We can try to commentate off this. Alright, I think we're back in business unless there's an ad at frame 1. Yeah,
I
there's an
did get
ad.
an ad from one, but
Unbelievable.
I'm still able to see it though. I am still able to see it. So far, it looks like
29 seconds left. 29
yeah,
seconds
the
left,
game
but
is
we're seeing
very
some
close to ending soon.
serious
And
map control
currently,
for the other
yeah,
team
currently in the
here.
lead we have 4Cats. So unless they're able to stop the Rainmaker, 4Cats currently has the Rainmaker. If they're able to stop it, they are able to get overtime with 10 seconds left. Are they able to get a pick on the Rainmaker? It does not seem like it. We don't have any specials coming out. We have nothing to stop that Rainmaker. It's just gonna hold it in mid, and they're just gonna take game like that. That's game for 4Cats in a trench coat.
I sent a thank you to Crackhead and a shout out to Crackhead for streaming because our cam got yeeted.
Massive thank you for Crackhead for having a stream up at all for us to have something to commentate over. So we didn't have to use our imagination to try to make this work. But yeah, pretty great gameplay over all around. I loved watching the Hydra do funny flanks, but I think it might have to stop using that and doing that in the future, especially because they already have a brush on their team. They already have someone who's able to do those funny flanks for them.
Speaking of doing funny things, I gotta admire the Hydra. I feel like that's an Inkbrush main, and I believe now we're going to go on break. We will see y'all next set.
No. So this is the end of the
Wait,
brackets.
no break?
The round is over. So up next we're gonna go into gold bracket. So we will have new commentators
No, no
in to
break?
give everyone
Okay.
new. We will have we're gonna have a break, but we're gonna have new commentators in to come in and commentate
Oh.
over the gold bracket.
Oh, that's right. This is for us. Okay. Sorry, it's kind of late over here, so I'm just kind of fuzzy. So my mistake. We're gonna have new commentators come in.
Yes,
So
I
my
am.
socials.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You,
You first.
you no, you go first. Where can the lovely people find you?
They can find me over on Blue Sky at Beige Jungle. And I do have a TikTok, however, I do not post there. Genuinely, the only place that you're really gonna find me is on Discord, but y'all are my friends. You are not getting my Discord account.
Yeah, I feel you so hard on that. And I've been Moku. Y'all can find me on my Blue Sky at mokudraws1020.basesky.social, and you can find me on TikTok at Moku8386 if you want to see my wild plays. I'm not really the best at making videos, but they're my best work
I'm gonna
for
have to
now.
go over and give you a follow during the break. I hope everyone has a great time watching Gold Bracket. We will see you again another day. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Stay tuned.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Shark Tank Gold Bracket Round 1. But most importantly, hello everyone, and we're back. Um, I'm Omazen. I am joined here by Smolie tonight, and we have quite a few epic games in front of us as we move through Gold Bracket, of course. But Smolie, how are you doing?
Doing great today, Omazen. It's been a pleasure seeing some of these earlier sets go on, seeing some friends and foes going against each other, and some really close games on each end. And I'm really excited for Gold Bracket here because there are some familiar faces that we see from original bracket. So I'm really excited to see how Gold Bracket is going to go because some of these seeds are kind of huge upsets. So I'm really wondering how they're going to go in bracket.
No, absolutely. I think most notably, what a few different players have noticed as the tournament has gone on is that low cortisol is absolutely killing it tonight. Despite being seed 10 in this tournament, they are currently effectively the number one team so far of the night, but of course, still plenty of good efforts from everyone else throughout tonight as well. We're looking to tentatively start off with Utility Pale versus Let's Go Bloom in just a few short moments. Um, both of these teams, coincidentally, we kind of know a little bit about Utility Pale being a kind of combination Purdue team. Uh, two different CCA rosters, I believe, have also been playing Ludi together this past season, if I'm not mistaken. And then Smoley, you know a little bit about the other teams as well, don't you?
Yes, Let's Go Bloom has some USF people on it, so some more CCA and collegiate people are in the game as well. So I'm really excited to see these two kind of CCA conjoined teams playing against each other. As we see that Zumi has been recently been playing Carbon on these past couple games, and Bepsi, who is typically a V-Slosher main, decided I'm gonna do something completely different today and go E leader, and has been doing an exceptionally good job at it, leading them to gold bracket. So I'm really excited to see what Utility Pale will be doing to try and combat this leader.
No, good point indeed. Being able to, just own those kind of new weapons that your opponent might not even be expecting from you if they did their research, like having those curveballs are huge. And when it comes to tournaments like Shark Tank, it also just creates a lot more value for your team as well. It's like new options for how you can choose to grow in the future. It's new options that you can utilize in the event that, hey, maybe what works out normally doesn't work against this team, but we have this new tool under our belt. So as we look ahead to the upcoming games, we are going to be starting this off on Umami Ruins Splat Zones. So kind of a classic, of course. A lot of people, of course, seen this around Shark Tank. They've seen it around quite a few other events as well. But because of the way the map is structured, a lot of teams have to constantly keep in mind like how they choose to approach the objective. You have two different zones that are split apart by a nice little stage in the center. They have to make sure that they play around that stage or platform very carefully. Otherwise, they might find themselves in a bit of a tough spot as they try to break into mid again.
Definitely. Positioning here is everything, but it is also constantly changing with the way that, especially that mid area of spine, if you have your backline on that, that is such a pivotal point, especially for your backline to get some really nice pick on the enemy dome and to push your front lines into their plat as well. So it's a really great place to have your backline as we are moving into the match.
Yeah, we're getting into some deals and business here as we're starting off Shark Tank Gold Bracket round one tonight, and Utility Pale opening up the map with quite an interesting comp. I actually really like what we see out of them. We have a Slosher, a Splasher kind of stabilized, but then they also have the fun picks of the Explo and also the Stickers Stamper. On the opposite end, we see Let's Go Bloom together. They have a Dreadringer. They have the Ink Brush, also that leader that was previously mentioned, and also an Octo Shot. So kind of similar mirrored comps in some respects, but they have this really unique kind of synergy that they can play off of Smalley.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, it just seems like they're just trying to get zone caps because both teams have significant paint advantages, with both having a bucket and an Explo going against an Octo Shot and a Dread. It's just a super, like, it's a turf battle at this point, but we can see that Palu goes in with that dread and gets a nice double, and that is a push going into Let's Bloom here in the lead.
Absolutely. And as we are moving into kind of this first minute of the match now having passed, we do have a crab tank up on the side of Pale. They're trying to find a way to break back in as Let's Go Bloom Together has been able to find a pretty nice kind of just synergy here. We see Reef Sliders going and we see different specials popping out as well. And they've been able to just completely corner Pale into their base here. We do see this sticker stamper. They're trying to find an off angle. They're trying to maybe get the members of Bloom Together spread out a bit more, but so far they haven't been able to find enough value to get back in at mid. We do see this Elir from Betsy trying to kind of hold the line a bit too, but overall, we don't really see either zone fully flipped yet.
Yeah, at the moment, it's looking like Pale is getting a bit of turf advantage here, using all of their specials just to get the zones capped and to push Let's Go Bloom back to their own spawn area. But we can see that the Splash is just trying to build for another crab, and with 2 specials down for Let's Bloom, they're probably going to be doing another close pretty soon if they can get at least 1 pick on the side of Pale.
Yeah, here's the Reef Slider trying to get a nice shark bite, and they do find one really clean pick there. Although they do go down to the V-Slosher, able to find a really clean pick there as well. Brush coming out as well, able to almost trade, but not necessarily get the confirm. And just really great work here from Pale's Colbo overall, able to get a lot of good pressure and ease up some space for Pale. Zumi here on the left trying to drag some attention away, trying to get the members of Pale to look at them and not their teammates. And so far, maybe it seems to be working, but we also see the rest of the team doing a great job of being able to move up consistently with one another. Although Pale was able to get some additional points there, we did see Let's Go Bloom Together was able to just, of course, get that zone back, and now they're kind of in a prime position to really just get more points on the board.
I don't know if you noticed that, but the Brush there was being in a pivotal point in the enemy spawn there, but unfortunately got a bit too greedy and trying to get a pick on the V-Slosh, which ultimately did get their location sought out there, and that is looking like Pale is using this opportunity to try and cap zone. But with the special advantage here being to Let's Go Bloom, they are using their special utility to the T with being able to cap zone so fast and using that to push up the Brush as fast as possible, which is leaving Betsy to stay on spine as much as possible.
I have to agree there completely. Excellent analysis for sure. And just the way these specials have been cycled has been so huge for Let's Go Bloom Together. Like, we have successfully gotten past the penalty. They're actually taking down points now, and Pale is all back in their spawn. We do see them lunging forward, trying to maybe at least stall, but even though they barely get that zone in a neutral state at the last moment, it's not enough for the timer to acknowledge it. And that's going to be the first game actually being a knockout going to Let's Go Bloom Together.
That was exceptionally well done by both teams there, but just seeing how well Betsy was being able to stay on spine and being so confident in Paley the Dread, being able to go in as much as possible with the amount of Reef Sliders they were getting was immaculate. They have some really good utility structure, and they are using them to do some really great coordination. But we can see that utility Pale has some really great aggressive weapons, but we don't see as much special usage being done in a good coordination, which might be the struggle that they are using to get some more important picks.
Absolutely. And as we kind of look ahead, I think both teams, with what they've been able to show us so far, they definitely have strategies they could employ on Clan Blitz Museum D'Alfonsino. I am interested to see if they opt to keep the Reef Sliders. Reef Sliders are kind of just strong strategies that you can use at times on Clan Blitz as a way to kind of just, create space really rapidly. Maybe it's a way for you to lunge forward. Maybe you can get a last second jump spot for a team member to come up on you. But when it comes to Museum, I find that Reef Slider can be a little bit iffy with its execution. There are definitely strong ways you can play it, but with the Reef Sliders that we did see last set, I wouldn't be surprised if we see, a little bit of a change up on that regard. Smolie, do you have any thoughts on what we might see from another team?
I'm especially wondering if they're going to keep the X-Flow on this map, as this is it's a wider map instead of being more of a slim, so that X-Flow has much more turf to cover for the enemy team to try and combat with. But I still think with the amount of paint coverage Let's Go Bloom has, that X-Flow will probably be having some issues with turf advantage.
Gotcha, gotcha. And as we look ahead to this set, I think so far there have been no changes on Pale's side. However, Let's Go Bloom Together, despite winning last game, they have opted to have a slightly different strategy. Zumi now on that Missile Pro, looking to maybe get a bit more pressure, maybe stagger the enemy in the Pale a little bit more. But as the opening moments of this match begin, we do see Zumi and Citrus trying to corner a member of Pale, not necessarily finding the full value that they're maybe looking for. And two members of Let's Go Bloom actually go down together as this amazing crab tank from the side of Pale is able to get a nice two.
Yeah, definitely. That crab tank was exceptionally well done and managed to get the Stamper in on the enemy side. So they have some really good turf control on the spinner here. So they have to get some more clams or at least get some picks down just so they can at least get to the basket, because we can see that Bepsi is in a position to stop them wherever they are. And they do drop the ball, and it looks like the Expo is going to have to push back here just to keep it at this point. But that is 3 down on the side of Let's Go Bloom because of that crab, I'm going to guess. And that is a quick pick for utility, but that is the end of the push immediately because Let's Go Bloom did a nice clean wipeout.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Pale, that has to hurt a little bit that you didn't necessarily score that clam, didn't score more points for your team. But this Reef Slider from Let's Go Bloom Together maybe trying to make that pain a little bit more worse, as multiple members of Pale do go down. Fortunately, I believe the Stamper managing to help kind of reconcile some of those losses a little bit. And although they did slightly lose the lead here, it looks like we are going to see that basket end at just one more clam, kind of benefiting Let's Go Bloom Together point-wise. But Pale can definitely recover from this. This is not a game that is over. At least I would really hope it's not a game that's about to be over. But both teams are kind of looking to just stall at mid a little bit here. We don't really see too many big movements from either team. That Booyah Bomb trying to kind of back up the leader a little bit. The leader having to actually back up so much that they're not even really in the game anymore. But despite all of that, the members of Let's Go Bloom Together are able to just hold the line well enough together all alone, and they're already on the plat of Pale once again.
Yeah, that was a crazy push that crab was doing on zone, but because I think they were focused so much on the leader, they forgot to spot anyone else in mid, which left their two aggro push weapons to get picked out by the enemy team, which kind of lost their point there. But it is looking like Utility Pale is getting a nice turf advantage for mid, but that did end with oh wait, the crab is holding the ball here. That's a little bit interesting in my point. But the crab, I want to see how many crabs this person has gotten because I've seen way too many at this point, and I think Let's Go Bloom is getting a little bit tired of the amount of crabs this enemy team is having.
And I mean, when you see kind of just the way that Let's Go Bloom has chosen to play a lot of these middle of the game fights and whatnot, I mean, they've really been focusing on making sure that they have the claim of a lot of this map under their hands. They have so much control over zones. They have so much control over the different plats. Like, despite Utility Pale trying so hard with everything they can to move up, they even got this Booyah Bomb coming out. They have another Crab Tank online as well. Splashdown also coming out. They can't really seem to assemble a push that's going to necessarily get them the points they maybe would like. And this Crab Tank kind of forced to just fend for itself, the Bucket attempting to support a little bit. They actually do find an E-Leader pick, props to them for that, but it's not able to find them the space they're maybe still trying to find. And this Reef Slider doing wonderful work, able to just create so much pressure that is really difficult to kind of find on this map, and has just been able to allow the members of Let's Go Bloom Together to hold down their lead excellently.
Yeah, once again, I just think Let's Go Bloom, as stated in the last match, their utility and special coordination has just been exceptional during this time, because once that Reef Slider is out, you can see immediately they're either tying it out with the missiles or the whale. So it's just a really nice coordination between specials. While we can see that utility is mainly focusing on that crab to do the majority of the work, because every time that splashdown does get called out, it immediately gets shut down by either the leader or the foraged crow immediately calling it out. So it's more so the fact they have to push in with this crab to get more points on their side.
No, absolutely. And as we kind of look ahead, 10 seconds left in the match, two players down on Pale. This is getting a little bit dicey for them. This Reef Slider kind of just being held as a little bit of a measure of like, hey, if you're going to push in, I'm just going to cancel your entire push with everything I can. Two balls in mid, they're trying to find something. This Reef Slider not able to find the value it necessarily maybe fully wants, but it is enough to get the team in a bit of a little bit of an anxious spot here. And as the ticker keeps going down, it looks like this is going to be curtains for Pale as Let's Go Bloom Together finds a second win and moves themselves forward in gold bracket.
Exceptionally well done on both teams. We could see that Utility Pale was not giving up without a fight, and they were just pushing as much as they can to keep that mid control as much as they could with the Expo paint control. But we could just see that Let's Go Bloom had a bit more control over their utility, and it was using them with such well coordination that the enemy team was constantly getting out of position, which I think was the main cause of them getting kind of like out staggered and leading to Let's Go Bloom winning this set.
For sure. And as we kind of look ahead, we are going to take a short break here on stream as we wait for the next brackets to get set up. And we will see you all in a few short moments. Welcome back everyone to Gold Bracket Round 2, and we got quite an exciting set for you all in just a few short moments as the teams are getting ready. We're going to be seeing the one, the only Low Cortisol going up against last set's winner, Let's Go Bloom Together.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this because this is a huge seed difference. It's an eight number seed difference with Low Cortisol being 10 and Let's Go Bloom being number 2. But we could see that Low Cortisol went 4-0 in the round. So I'm really wondering how this is going to go because it's with how low they are, it's making me get some really high cortisol because it's kind of making me really excited to see how both of these teams are going to be playing.
For sure, and I mean from Low Cortisol, they've been able to do quite a lot so far just in this tournament in general. Now they are here to prove themselves in Gold Bracket, and I mean, you know what also helps lower, I mean, not just my cortisol, but like honestly, more like a lot of other people's cortisol. Because I actually don't do this, but a lot of other people's cortisol, it's smoking weed.
I might just say, as looking ahead on the first map here, but Hagglefish Zones being the first map we will be seeing here for Hagglefish on 420. Yeah, everyone's gonna be probably taking the scenic route to mid as they're probably just gonna be vibing at this point and gonna take the chill pill at this moment just so they can stay relaxed and go crazy.
I think it's less of a pill. It's more of like they're lighting a blunt. They're lighting whatever they choose to light. Maybe they're eating like a brownie that has a little something in it.
Yeah, definitely. I could if we see that Let's Go Bloom, Bepsi staying on that leader, not gonna lie, hitting something kind of crazy, staying on that canopy, probably gonna be keeping it pretty chill back there, while we could see possibly Low Cortisol kind of going crazy in mid.
I also just realized this. I think Low Cortisol, I think they have like the Big Dipper or something as their like little sign. I don't know. It looks vaguely like that on the little icon here. I just think that's cute. Anyways, Low Cortisol entering the match here. They got quite the interesting kind of set here. I like the Wiper and the Gal. Also that Blaster and Splash being in tow. And then Let's Go Bloom Together, opting to keep that same comp we saw from them last game against Pale. So opening up here, Vaporeon taking this crazy flank route. They're not chilling at all. They're here to win it. They, I don't think they're celebrating 420. I think they're maybe saving that for when they get the tournament win.
Yeah, but we can see here that we saw on the side of Low Cortisol, everybody's flanking. Nobody knows where they came from, but they did get called out, and it got a 2-pick down for Low Cortisol, which is making Let's Go Bloom get the zone pick from here. And once again, that Wiper is trying to get another flank, but is getting called out by the Crow here. But it's looking like they're just trying to fight for mid control at this point with special usage.
For sure, and I mean, both teams have been fighting tooth and nail, trying to just keep a push going. Let's Go Bloom Together, slightly, just barely having the lead, but I'm sure we'll see it go away in just a few short moments. But, I mean, they haven't been backing down at all. We've seen so much work get put in here by Bepsi Boy in particular, just making sure that Low Cortisol can't necessarily explode and find a huge game-winning push of any sort. And just both teams continuing to just go down, down, and up again.
Yeah, once again, that Wiper is going for a continuous flank, but is once again getting punished by it. And it's just constantly a fight for mid pushes here, but it's just one down on each side most of the time. But we see that Low Cortisol does have the lead at the moment, and with Let's Go Bloom trying to get some special usage out just to push them back to get the zone capture, we might be able to see something kind of happen here.
You know, this game reminds me a lot of the times in the hit TV show Shark Tank, where they like have the sharks like arguing with each other over like who gets to buy the company. That's how like them fighting over the zone feels right now. Like it's not staying one color. Like the lead does not last that long. We do see the crab go down here. this is probably the biggest lead we've actually seen all set, thanks to none other than Bepsi Boy and Co. Of course, they finally have 2 down. I mean, maybe they're going to be the one to land the deal they're looking for.
Yeah, definitely. With the way that the match was sitting at the beginning, with all of them lined up, it was more so just like who was gonna get the better company deal at this point because it was just a constant back and forth. But we can see Let's Go Bloom is finally getting that better percentage win rate. But with that crab coming out, it's looking like a zone takeover is going to be pulled out. But that a whale, a wall stop gets called out, and that is a wipeout on the side of Let's Go Bloom. So they have to get a huge push here just so they can keep that lead and get mid control back.
Yeah, I mean, they're having that remaining point score tick down, but I mean, if anything, maybe like just look at Vaporeon actually in the back. I was about to make a joke, but they're just popping off, dragging away so much pressure and attention from the front line. The Crab Tank able to just help keep pressure as well. We're probably going to see a lead flip here in a few short moments. However, this Reef Slider may be about to make me a liar. It does make me a liar. I'm going to have to pass this over to you, Smolie. There's so much happening.
Yeah, that was a kind of a back shout moment where that reef just came in out of nowhere and just got a really nice pick on the side of low cortisol. So it was. I love a good reef slider on zone. I love a bias to reefs, and we see that Zumi is really close to some missiles here. So it's looking like they're gonna try and get a more of a push for that brush to get in and missile that crab, which did drop. So it's going to get missiled and killed. And we see that that is a lead break for Let's Go Bloom. And that is only 8 ticks left on the side of Let's Go Bloom. And they have to fight super close. And they do! It's looking like they don't manage to cap zone in time. So Let's Go Bloom does manage to take the first game.
You know, we were hyping up low cortisol a lot, and you know, they definitely deserve their flowers. They deserve their respects for being kind of that seed 10, kind of just having this unexpected, really impressive run so far. But Let's Go Bloom together, just carrying the momentum they had from last set, kind of just proving kind of their seed as well that they had at this tournament start. Able to get that key game win over low cortisol, especially with how close it was. Like, we have to highlight that too. Both teams going neck and neck, constantly going back and forth. Like, for the first, I don't know, 3 minutes maybe, we didn't really see that clock tick lower than like about 70-60 points. So looking ahead here, I'm not exactly sure what to expect from either team, but I'm definitely interested to see what we'll have next.
Yeah, it was such a close game up until like the 2 minute mark where it was just constantly back and forth to see which special could even cap the zone in the first place. Because yes, Palu did have the Dread and Reef point, but it was just there was so much paint on the side of low cortisol that it wasn't enough to mainly cap the zone at the initial push. So I think once they realized let's push in with this Dread and just immediately get a fast pick and go in and get some really nice picks on the side of Let's Go Bloom. And I think they just realized they needed to shut that crab down as much as possible. And as we saw at that end point, Missiles just completely shredded that crab in a really nice moment. And I think that was the kind of final push that Low Cortisol had to try and get a good push in.
No, that's a good point as well. And I think just being able to, you know, stagger those specials, that's such a key thing that I think tends to sometimes get overlooked in the game, especially when it comes to tournaments like Shark Tank. You want to make sure that you are constantly kind of staggering those specials and making sure that you can pressure the best you can on a consistent level. So heading into this next game here, we are waiting for a counter pick from Low Cortisol. I'm sure they're very much trying to figure out what they can do differently heading into the next game. I believe all modes and I believe maps theoretically should be open to them as well. So maybe we'll see spot zones again. Maybe we won't. There's definitely a lot of different ways they can choose to play this.
Definitely. And I'm just solely wondering if they're going to try and pick a map that they believe Bepsi will probably have to switch off leader because we see that Mouse here is mainly sticking on a Rapid Blaster for the cooler. And we see that there's specific maps and modes where leader cannot thrive in, which the Rapid Blaster can. So it's looking like Mako Mart tower control is going to be the counter pick here, which is kind of interesting because leader definitely thrives on this map and can get some really clean picks, especially on these stacks here. So I'm really wondering if it's just going to be more of a playground for their front lines to kind of fight on these stacks, or if it's going to be more so a fight to see who can use their special usage better to keep control of tower.
I mean, maybe they're going to be trying to fight on the stacks, but maybe they're also going to be trying to get the fat stacks by winning this set here with this counter pick. I mean, when you're in Shark Tank, you have to keep in mind that it's not just about the games, it's also about the equity. And are you going to get the bigger equity that will get you that match win? It might
Yeah,
be
definitely.
it might be like that 30% equity rate, but you know, maybe that 30% is really more like a 3-0. You gotta think outside the box with that one. So I mean,
Yeah.
Makomart tower control, who's gonna be the winner? Who's gonna be the one controlling that tower the longest? I don't know.
Yeah, this is definitely more about who can use their control over mid and stacks to make sure they can keep that more level-headed control over tower, because we don't want the leader mainly sticking on tower, because that is such a huge disadvantage for them to be at, because that tower is constantly moving. So it's going to be more so their support or midliner who's going to be sticking mainly to tower. But it's just more so the fact if they're going to target more of the leader or still focus on mainly keeping control of mid.
Good point there as well. Opening up here into the game, we're getting a look at some of the comps here. Let's go Bloom together, opting to kind of shake things up quite a bit. I think the only consistent pick there actually is going to be that Dreadringer. I know you were talking about the E leader potentially maybe getting some value over here. Bepsi opting to pick up their V-Slosher instead, which is an interesting choice. I guess trying to maybe get some more pressure off the stacks and just be a bit more aggressive. And so far, the strategy does seem to be working out for them well. They're able to chase down that Blaster, able to get key picks there. And now they're going ahead, moving forward with this tower, just kind of steamrolling as quickly as they can, getting these checkpoints out of the way as soon as they can. 30 seconds not even off the clock just yet, and they're already past that first checkpoint. 50 points remaining as well on the board at 4 minutes and 25 seconds. Another
Oh my
wipeout as
God.
well. They're just steamrolling low cortisol. Like, they got the carbon roller, Smolie, they got everything.
So fun fact about Pepsi Omazen is that Pepsi picked up E-Leader just for this tournament. Bro picked it up, said, you guys don't have a backline, fine, I'll play E-Leader. But Pepsi loves Bucket, and you can see that this match where they just steamrolled low cortisol. That was like the fastest match I've seen in a while in Shark Tank, which just excellent team coordination to keep that bubble sticking on that tower as much as possible. Bucket constantly being on edge and having so much paint for that Carpon to go in on enemy spawn and just constantly get wipeouts on the side of low cortisol.
No, good point indeed. And I mean, when you have that sort of flexing potential that Pepsi Boy has been able to just provide, that's like huge. I'm sure that low cortisol wasn't even really anticipating that, having to go against a double bucket, a backless comp, when they had that oppressive E leader out of nowhere. I'm sure they were preparing for it based on the way their comp was looking with that uh, Blaster Pro and just everything else. That was an insane match, and also on a highlight, that match actually went less than a minute. They were on that tower as soon as they could get on it, and they just consistently rode it to the end. They mean business, and low cortisol has a lot to meet if they want to be able to get this set back.
Yeah, definitely. It's looking like ship shape zones will be coming back into play here. As a avid support and backline pen player, I kind of have a hatred towards ship shape just because it's so annoying to get in a good position, especially with front lines constantly moving to get a pick on the backline here. So I'm really wondering if they're going to keep the backline comp here for the Rapid, or if Let's Go Bloom is going to go back to the E-Leader to get some more clean picks, or just continuously bring up the paint for that Carbon that's probably going to be getting some really good picks here on Ship Shape.
Absolutely. And I was about to say shark shape, ship shape. You see, I'm so Shark Tank pilled. I can't stop thinking about Shark Tank. But ship shape cargo co spot zones. definitely a kind of a change up, I think, of what we've seen previously. If Pepsi chooses to go E-leader, they can definitely make something work, but they can definitely keep that bucket here too. But when it comes to the rest of low cortisol, they have the opportunity here to just kind of dive a bit more, but also play around a lot more different objects that don't necessarily have the same dynamics that those plats do on a map like Mako.
And we see that Pepsi does go back to the E leader, and we see that Citrus, instead of sticking to more of a frontline weapon, they're going to opt in for paint here for this carbon. And it's looking like just a fight to get this carbon in on left. That's looking to get a pick, but does unfortunately get called out. So it's going to be an early pick on the side of low cortisol, and that is getting them a 2 down for the side of Let's Go Bloom, with low cortisol having a small lead here at the beginning.
I mean, small lead for sure, but I mean, this Crab Tank and the rest of the team as well, they've been able to do a lot of good work here. This definitely seems to be a map that they strive to a lot more on, and they've been able to kind of just answer the call that Let's Go Bloom set up. I also want to highlight that Betsy Boy opting to go back on the E leader, maybe that was not the right call when it came to just how well that worked last match. Reef Slider coming out, Zuka coming out, not necessarily able to find as much value as they maybe otherwise hoped it would. Zumi trying to just launch themselves forward here on this carbon roller isn't able to do anything more than help get a trade assist. And the 52 gal defending the zone as best they can. Crab Tank also coming out. I mean, low cortisol is showing that they kind of needed to up the cortisol here a little bit. I think this is a very high cortisol game from them.
Yeah, and that is 2 down on the side of low cortisol. There's a Reef in check, probably trying to get an early pick here. Helps the carbon get in, which is going to have a stamp here. Probably going to get like a cheeky pick with the stamp here, but misses and gets called out for it. And we see that there is still a lead for the side of low cortisol, but they are still down in members at this point.
No, for sure. And I mean, low cortisol, like as long as they're able to just kind of keep this consistent zone control, even if they have these moments of it going the opponent's color, that's kind of all that matters. They want to make sure that Let's Go Bloom Together can't get points on the board for themselves. And as they kind of spread out around mid here a little bit, we do see the 52 gal go down. The Swiper maybe trying to find some value, but is kind of stuck alone in a bit of an awkward spot. It's going to allow Bepsi Boy and Zumi to move up on them and get really key good picks here. Just able to get so much pressure too, allowing the zone to flip even. So as we head into kind of this latter half of the match, I think we're going to have to be careful for low cortisol. We don't want to necessarily go down. We want to play our cards safely. We want to play that low cortisol game style. We don't want to necessarily go for this high cortisol one.
Yeah, and such a nice pick on the rapid here by Palu, which eliminates Cooler from the side of low cortisol. It's looking like they're just trying to fight mid here, and they do manage to cap it. And that is 2 down on the side of Let's Go Bloom. So it's just a constant fight of getting the penalty down for the side of low cortisol to continue with their push. But we can see that Bepsi is trying to get some really nice picks here, but that Crab is constantly pushing around Bepsi, so they can't stay in one place forever.
No, for sure, absolutely. And I mean, we see low cortisol able to get more points on the board here too. They might lose this. They do lose the zone control, but I mean, that's just what you have to be working for if you're low cortisol. Like, even if you have these moments of team wipeouts or having to just back out, at least you were able to get more points on the board. Let's Go Bloom Together doing a great job of holding control of the zone so far. We do see them just easing up a bit. However, I do want to highlight the wiper in the back giving back shots to the members of Let's Go Bloom Together with this massive hammer trying to find something. They get one. That's big money. They try to get a zone flip. They do. I mean, the goat right here. Holy moly.
I just know Bepsi there was screaming to his team about that wiper being such a problem for him, because if that leader isn't causing any pressure to the enemy team, they're just going to steamroll that zone and really just hit all of the teammates all at once. And we see that they're 2 down on the side of low cortisol. It's just a constant fight for mid control at this point, because that Crab is oh! Nice pick by Bepsi here, getting that Crab down as much as possible. It's more so the fact is if Let's Go Bloom can get this penalty out and keep their enemy team back in their side, and if we can see if Palu can get another Reef very soon, just so they can keep this lead as much as possible. And they do!
Yeah, they are able to get that lead flip. They also have the Reef Slider online. We do see it pop out, but Low Cortisol's in a really prime position here to still get a zone flip. They do find it. Vaporeon getting a nice 2, although, as I say that, I don't even know what happened. We saw 3 go down at the same time from Low Cortisol, kind of just... That's not what you want to see if you're low cortisol. That's a very high cortisol moment. Not good at all. And as we see 1 second tick down, that's gonna
Wow.
be game 3 going to Let's Go Bloom.
That was such an exceptionally well done game by Lower Kotozal. They constantly were catching up a fight. It was more so they just got locked out at the end there, which we saw was the ultimate defeat for the side of them. But they had such great control, and that crab was doing such great position dispositions for Pepsi to get some get out of position. So it was just more so, I think, once they realized that crab was causing so many issues, as we saw, they popped that crab and Pepsi immediately eliminated it. And we just saw that Palu and the Carbon just went in full swing after that. It was just beautiful to see. And once again, great special issues on both teams here. Communication, I bet, was great on both teams here.
Oh, I bet for sure. I mean, we saw so many great moments from low cortisol. That's we do joke around a little bit. Oh, high cortisol, low cortisol, but still really great effort from them, of course. Let's Go Bloom together. Also, just really just showing who they are. I think at both sets we've seen from them so far, they've just been so highly contested, and they did have those moments where it was getting a little bit iffy. Like, hey, are you going to actually close this out or not? But I mean, still, they're able to show up when it matters. They're able to get those key picks and are able to close out the games the way they need to. So, really good effort. Really excited to see what they do. And we are going to go ahead and head to a short break as we get grand finals and just everything with Shark Tank Gold Bracket ready for you all. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Shark Tank Gold Bracket. And we have it. We have finals, everyone. Two teams who have fought with everything they have are now here to win it all on none other than 420 Shark Tank. It's not the 420th Shark Tank. No, it's Shark Tank on 420. One of these teams will be able to have the chillest victory or the chillest loss of their life.
Yeah, definitely. And looking back, we see Let's Go Bloom once again for the third time in brackets, and it's been such a pleasure seeing how each team has been going. Each team, the team that wins, of course, is going to be getting a really nice fat blunt, of course, just to celebrate and relax after all of this crazy hectic battling that they are doing. And I'm just really excited to see how they're going to be fighting against each other, because I took a little sneak peek at what Obsidian Moon has been playing, because we haven't seen that side of bracket because of some Sendu errors, of course, but I see that they mainly have a Dynamo as their backline player, so I'm really wondering how that is going to kind of compete with either Bepsi going Beast Slosher or the fabled E-Leader that's been doing pretty well this bracket.
Yeah, good points there. I mean, that E-Leader might pop up again, it might not. I think Pepsi Boy is definitely going to keep the opponent on their toes, though, with what they choose to run. Barnacle Zones definitely offers a few different ways you can choose to approach the game, and it kind of all depends on how your opponent also chooses to play it. If you have that rushdown comp, maybe you don't want to play as heavy of a backline, but if you have something else, maybe it'll work for you. We do see Pepsi Boy on that leader. Also, Brush and Dreadranger in play as well there. On the opposite side, first time we were seeing Obsidian Moon here in Gold Bracket, we see kind of a slightly weird comp, but they have that Dynamo Roller most notably, so definitely interested to see how this plays out.
Yeah, a really nice pick on the side of Let's Go Bloom, knocking down that Beige Slosher, which is their main paint usage person. And we see that Bepsi is getting some really nice picks here, pushing back the people as fast as possible. But we see that the missiles kind of outposition him, and that is went down on the side of Let's Go Bloom with a quick zone change to Obsidian Moon here, with that Stamper trying to go in as fast as possible and trying to get a quick pick here on the Dread here. But gets called out for it, so that is a nice pick with 2 down on the side of Obsidian Mood.
Yeah, Obsidian Mood trying to find that controlling stake here on the zone. Not able to necessarily get it locked down, though. If you're trying to make a deal, you're not going to be able to successfully pull that off here. But, I mean, Let's Go Bloom together, just doing a wonderful job. We've seen them consistently our entire run through our Gold Bracket. Just get these big pushes, get these really big plays that are so hard to fight against. And when you are a team like Obsidian Moon, you have to kind of just not let up. You have to keep rushing and taking as much control as you can.
Yeah, we can see here that the Wiper was trying to get a pick in the hallway here, but got pushed out by the bomb and had to unfortunately jump out. We see the Reef come in and get a nice pick on the Frozen here. That is making the Brush come in with the Whales and get a really nice control on the side of enemy plat here. Dynamo coming in with the cooler, see if they can get a really nice retake. But they do have missiles in, which is going to stop them from moving in as much as possible, because that is going to be a bit hard to control. But we see enemy team coming out with missiles, and that is a wipeout on the side of Let's Go Bloom.
Yeah, you know, I mean, every team here trying to make a good deal, but you see the side of Obsidian Moon kind of just bringing down what they got, doing a great job. I mean, they're not just making a pitch, they're making a hostile takeover of this map. They're about to get that lead. They're about to just get everything. We do see one in the water, though, but hey, sharks belong there. We see the zone flip. It's neck and neck. What's going to happen here, Smolie?
Yeah, it's looking like missiles are coming out on both sides here, and there's a zone swap on the side of Let's Go Bloom. It's just a constant back and forth of who can keep mid control at this point, because both teams have exceptional turf control at this point, with the Dread still having a Dynamo on the other team. But I would like to mention we saw the Beast Slosher fall in the water there because they couldn't successfully escape, and I think that was just kind of a funny moment there. But it's just a constant fight, and Bepsi hasn't been able to move around off of this flat snipe here since they've been constantly getting pushed back. But a really nice snipe on the B bucket here, looking out to see where this stamp is. But they still have zone control here, so I'm really wondering what they're going to do to try and keep and possibly push the zone onto their advantage.
No, absolutely. And I mean, only the E leader being able to stand up for the side of Let's Go Bloom together, able to get a sneaky pick on that Stamper, also on that Pro, just showing that, hey, we're still in this. I might be the only one standing up. You might still be getting your penalty ticking down, but you're not going to be able to do that for free. And Bessie Boy continuing to lay out this pressure. The rest of the team getting their specials up. They're able to get that zone flip. We have such a tight lead here, and the penalty isn't that high either. It's really still anyone's game here, Smolie.
Yeah, 2 down on the side of Obsidian Moon. It's really just been a back and forth once again. Constant fights in either the hallway and just making sure that Pepsi can stay in a really nice place here so they can keep control of the plat. And it's looking like Palu's having a bit more trouble trying to get in with these reefs because these strikes are constantly pushing out the zone control. But it's looking like the Dynamo's going for a really quick pick here and is getting a nice pick on Palu here, which leaves their 2 main painters out, which is leaving Pepsi Boy by themselves at the moment.
I really want to highlight something else too that we've seen so far this set. Pepsi Boy has just been able to stay up regardless of these pushes. Normally you see kind of the backline fall first, or maybe just everything falls apart because of that backline falling. And I mean, Pepsi Boy has been able to be kind of like a cockroach, and I mean that really is a compliment. They can't get just killed. They survive no matter what. And that is huge money. That is a huge win for your team, of course. So as we head into the last few seconds of this match here, we do see Let's Go Bloom together barely get the zone under control, but it's actually not going to be enough.
Yeah, unfortunate turn for the side of Let's Go Bloom. Once again, really great job for both teams here. Pepsi was staying alive as much as possible, but I think they were just constantly getting into a lot of trades at that point, which was leading to them losing a lot of turf advantage against that Dynamo, which I think was not too great of a idea for the Dread to be doing. So I'm really wondering how they're going to try and recombat the amount of paint that Dynamo is giving so they can possibly get that brush in to get a little bit more of aggressive picks just because that Stamper was trying to get in and dislodge the E-leader as much as possible.
Absolutely. And I mean, they really just have been able to do so much so far. I mean, we've only saw one game. It feels like we've maybe seen quite a bit more with just how long that went, but in a really good way, though. I mean, I was on the edge of my seat all match. I don't really know what to expect moving forward here. We might see a little bit of shift in comps just because, I mean, Let's Go Bloom together. They had their first game loss, all gold bracket. That's something you have to take note of if you're them, and you have to maybe play your cards slightly differently. Heading here into game 2 for the counter pick, I'm not sure what to expect. What do you think, Smolie?
It's looking like on Sindu, it's showing Splat Zone's Robo Ramen, so I'm really excited to see how they're going to try and work around this comp, just because we could possibly see the Brush try and get a couple more cheeky picks, and I'm not too sure if Pepsi's going to be sticking on leader since they might need more turf control rather than the more aggressive pushes, because they're getting nice picks. It's just more so that turf advantage was leading towards Obsidian Moon, which is causing that Brush to get stuck and kind of abandoned. And I'm just worried that Pally was playing a bit too aggressive because we saw each time they were using their reach sliders, they were immediately going down as fast as possible because they weren't getting a really close pick. So I'm just really wondering if Pally is going to play a bit more safer and more towards a more support paint.
Awesome, awesome. And as we open up here, we do see some small shifts, I think, but nothing too big overall. Comps mostly staying the same. As both teams head into the zone, it's kind of just, it's just paint just flying everywhere. I mean, for a little bit there, we didn't even see any decisive control over the zone, once again neutralizing itself. Smolie, I don't really know which team is going to be able to win this out.
Yeah, it's There's so many things happening at this point, but that is 3 down on the side of Let's Go Bloom, and Obsidian Moon is pushing in as fast as possible onto that elbow there, and even on the enemy base, so that Pro is already down, and it's just looking like they're gonna have to jump out here, possibly recuperate into the mid here, just because that Dread is already back in and going to get a zone pick on that brush on the bucket there, and that is 2 down on the side of Obsidian Moon. And I'm really excited to see how they're going to push in here since they have the missiles out on Elba.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Zumi kind of doing a great job just being able to hold down this zone for their team, making sure that they can get the paint up, making sure that they can create opportunities, as well as we do see Jonesy from the other side opting to kind of try to take this off angle, not able to maybe get the value they're looking for because of the specials popping up from the side of Let's Go Bloom together. And I mean, hey, when you get a wipeout like that, I think they definitely are blooming together. That's fair to say. And Obsidian Moon now trying to get out of their spawn, not the position you want to be in if you're them. Overall, though, both teams trying to do what they can to move up here.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that, but there was a pretty hard car crash and a disconnect on the side of Obsidian Moon. But I'm not too sure they can reset it at this point because it is past 3 minutes. But it is looking like they're going to do a gentleman's shake and see if they can do a reset here.
Possibly. I guess we'll have to see how it's ruled and what happens. A little bit unfortunate that there was a DC. Not what you want to see. Personally, I enjoyed seeing Jonesy from Fortnite in that match, but that was just me.
Yeah, it was really fun seeing Palu get a kind of slap on the face from the car reef, and getting a nice zone cap afterwards. So I'm really wondering if they're gonna just gentleman rules it and just continue and remake it, or if they're just gonna get the TOs in here and see what they can do possibly.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to await maybe any information from that. But as we kind of sit here and vibe a little bit, I think that really, I mean, it's a little bit unfortunate, right? Because Obsidian Moon was a little bit on the back foot there for a moment. Let's Go Bloom Together really found their momentum. They really found what they were looking for. And it does look like we're getting a gentleman's replay. That's awesome to see. Love the good sportsmanship there. But overall, they're going to have to kind of just build that all up from the ground up again. It's going to be a bit tough if you are Let's Go Bloom Together to figure out what you need to do here.
Yeah, it is looking like right off the bat, 1 down on both sides here, but the side of zone goes to Let's Go Bloom, and it is looking like a pretty nice push at the beginning, keeping zone here, even though they're getting aggressively pushed by this bucket, but they're just constantly getting stuck in that pit, and it's just more so a scrappy fight in these bottom corners just to try and keep zone from going in. But with double specials going in there, it's gonna be a zone swap to the side of Obsidian Moon.
You're absolutely right. And I mean, we still are kind of in this same position we were in last game. I mean, not even last game, just like before that replay was forced. A lot of these different teams are kind of just in a spot where they're trying to figure out how they can make these leads last longer. Now we kind of see Obsidian Moon. They're just kind of barely holding control of this zone. They're trying to move forward with it. They're trying to find these picks, not necessarily getting as many of them as they maybe otherwise would like. And this E-leader getting backed into the corner, that's actually really big if you're Jonesy from Fortnite. But the rest of the team really kind of just struggling here, I think, from the side of Let's Go Bloom Together.
Yeah, Let's Go Bloom, I think, is just getting stuck with the amount of bomb spam that they're doing, and it's just Let's Go Bloom is going to have to use a lot of specials here just to even get them out of the elbow here. But that is 2 down on the side of Obsidian, and we can see Let's Go Bloom going as fast as possible just to get the zone recapped and get in as fast as possible. They're going to stop this bucket, but does have to get pushed back a little bit. Dynamo is trying to go in for a really quick pick, but is getting pushed back by Whales at this point, and does unfortunately go down. So that is 2 down on the side of Obsidian Moon.
For sure, for sure. And I think Let's Go Bloom Together has finally found kind of their momentum again here, although they will have to fight through 2 specials from the side of Obsidian Moon. We do see that Booyah Bomb popping out. We do also see the missiles coming out, trying to kind of stagger this push, and it does seem to be successful so far, neutralizing the zone briefly, also getting 2 members down from the side of Let's Go Bloom Together. They're not necessarily going to be able to find lead possibly here, as we do see that Dynamo just finally, in the last moment there, get the points secured for their team, making sure that they can hold that lead for a little bit longer. So still anyone's game here right now. Only half of the matches passed us by so far somehow, Smolie.
Yeah, it's just kind of funny. We see the Dread playing a bit more aggressive here. The brush is in on elbow, and they didn't notice it until too late, which is a big disadvantage here for Obsidian Moon. There's only 20 points left. They're using so much specials just to even stall the zone here, but that does not stop Let's Go Bloom's zone, and that is 3 specials wasted on just the zone here. But we see Let's Go Bloom still has the advantage here, and it's looking like they might get lead off of these penalty points. It's taking down so fast. And we see that Let's Go Bloom is with the turf advantage and people advantage because Obsidian Moon is 2 down and constantly just trickling in. And I think this is beginning to start a staggering effect for Obsidian Moon.
Yeah, Let's Go Bloom together, finally finding their momentum as we saw before, being able to clutch that win, make this a 1-1 set. The first set we've seen on stream in Gold Bracket that wasn't really just that decisive sweep either. Let's Go Bloom together back in Obsidian Moon, also just really showing what they have in store for us as well too. It can go either way as we move ahead to the upcoming games, but I'm really excited to see how both these teams really choose to just play out their different just comps, their different ways of approaching the game.
Yeah, definitely. Both teams have been playing exceptionally well, going so close in all games. But this does make it so zones can't be played on either teams for counter picks. So they're going to have to switch to a different mode at this point. And I'm really wondering what Obsidian Moon is going to counterpick because they know that Pepsi is going to be on that leader. So they're probably thinking, what maps can leader not run on? But because we have some insider knowledge, Pepsi also plays other weapons, which Obsidian Moon does not know. So it's more so the fact, are they going to try and think that Pepsi is going to stick leader on all of these maps? Or are they going to play the safer trap of just making sure that Pepsi can't get in at any point?
And I think when you are kind of really either team here, you're trying to make sure that you can also play not just safely, but play in a dangerous way too. It is Shark Tank, you know. It's not like Finding Nemo tank, right? Like where we are all the big shark guy from Shark Tank, and you have to really just have that energy the best you can. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I feel like I'm feeling the 420 a little bit right now, Smolie. Please, please save me here.
No, definitely. I'm with you with the Finding Nemo. We see that fish are friends, not food, and we really see that they need to be not friends at this point because they need to be more aggressive to make sure they can get these pushes in a bit more quicker. Because as we saw, there was so much picks going in, but there was so much trades and not so like one-sided picks that it was constantly just a trade in to see who can just keep zone and even mid control because there's so many downs on both teams at the same time that they both couldn't push in at this point because it was such a struggle.
We are getting news here that Inkblot Tower will be game 3, I think. I think we're also just waiting for that team to select it as the counter pick as well on Sendu. But Inkblot Tower, we're going to be seeing our first non-zones game this set. Both teams have won a zones game, so I believe due to typical counter pick rules, neither team can actually force that through. So with tower control now on the menu, I have to wonder, how will these teams really just clash against each other?
Yeah, definitely. It's looking like the comps are sticking pretty much the same on the side of Obsidian Moon. But Let's Go Bloom pulls out a Junior and a Carbon, which is such a great pick on this map. Carbon has so many elbows and corners they can hide in, and with that Junior, they can keep the bubbles up and bubble cheese that tower. Taylor's going in and does unfortunately go down to the B bucket. And it is kind of just a stalemate here on mid because that leader is giving so much of a terrifying aura. And that is 2 down on the side of Obsidian Moon. Tower going in and getting the bubble so it can play safe and at least possibly get to the first checkpoint.
You see Bepsi Boy wielding this E leader, creating so much pressure with that reticle, but also Jonesy from Fortnite leading the bats push and getting those strikes out. They're making those supply drops rain from the heavens, and they are slowly getting the picks to back that up too, leaving only Bepsi Boy up. This is huge if you're Obsidian Moon. They really had a snowbally push going there for a moment. And look at Jonesy from Fortnite. I mean, I keep saying he's from Fortnite.
Yeah, it does unfortunately get shut down at that point, and it is a clean 6-7 checkpoint in the side of Let's Go Bloom, but is going quickly on the side of Obsidian Moon, keeping that tower, but has to get off just for a little bit. But they get the lead at this point. Mr. Jonesy over there trying to fight the leader, and once again is going in and gets the pick, and is going in for Bastion, and is just having crazy bloodless. Gets two, and that is a 2 down on the side of Let's Go Bloom. But you see that Obsidian Moon is stuck in mid still. They didn't keep up with the aggressive push, so that is a kind of dead push at this point, with tower being stuck on the left check here.
You know, it might be Shark Tank 420, and we're kind of in a tough spot here. It's either the 420 daughter or the Fortnite Jonesy son, and I have to pick the Fortnite Jonesy son, I think, here. Look at this gamer go. We are seeing so many clutch plays here from the side of Obsidian Moon as this tower continues to move forward. Really good plays here all around. And I mean, Let's Go Bloom together. They had really great momentum at the beginning of this match here, almost kind of getting their own snowbally push that we're now seeing from Obsidian Moon, but they're just doing such a great job here as this tower moves forward.
Yeah, it's looking like this is going to be game, and I'm not too sure if leader was the pick there, because there was so much places that the enemy team was hiding, and with that little block towards the plat there, Jonesy was going in as fast as possible and just setting their eyes on Bepsi as much as possible. So that K is probably looking a bit rough for Bepsi at this point. So I'm really wondering what they're going to counterpick at this point, because it's still such close games, and we see that because Let's Go Bloom has such a great push, they're still in this, and I'm really wondering how they're going to try and retake this so Obsidian Moon can have a bit more of a struggle.
No, for sure. And I mean, we're at match point now. It all comes down to this Obsidian Moon with the 2-1. Let's Go Bloom together. Not necessarily out of it yet. This is definitely winnable. They brought this set to a 1-1. They can bring this set to a game 5, I'm sure. But all things considered, if I'm Obsidian Moon, I would be wondering, how do I make sure I get this, not just this win down, right? But how do I have it so decisively down that it kind of just sends my opponent into the Shark Tank?
Definitely. It's more so just because Obsidian Moon won TC, they can't pick it again. So they either have to do a Clam Blitz or a Rainmaker retake if Let's Go Bloom does win this counter pick. So it's more so the fact, what are they going to pick between those two modes, which is going to cause a bit of a tussle at this point. Because you see that each retake that Let's Go Bloom is taking for their counter picks, they're doing an exceptionally great job on retake for this point. So it's more so the fact we can see where each team is being comfortable in their map choices. So it's more so the fact, how are they going to kind of rebuttal this if it's going to be winner's choice for final counter pick?
It looks like we're going to tower control. Man, these teams really don't like Rainmaker and Glam Blitz. I think that's really funny, but I respect it. I completely respect it. Tower control, ship shape, cargo co, gonna be our game 4 here in this set. Obsidian Moon versus Let's Go Bloom together. Let's Go Bloom together, trying to maybe, play the same game that Obsidian Moon was last game, but just really clutching that snowball push that I'm sure they're going to be looking for. I'm sure you all know Ship Shape Cargo Co. When you get that push after, I believe, the first check out of the way, it is just rapid fire from there. There are so many things you have to look out for. And when both these teams open up to this game here, I'm going to have to wonder how they choose to open up.
That's looking like they are keeping the same comps here on the side of Let's Go Bloom, and the same for Obsidian Moon, except a Forge Pro comes out. I love that thing so much. It's probably there for the GG's Booyah. But we see that Pepsi there is still sticking with the E leader, so they're wondering if they can get like a really nice clean pick here at the first initial push. But it's just looking like a scrappy fight in the mid area here, just so they can at least get a pick.
I mean, gotta love the Forge Pro pick. Gotta love just what all these teams are choosing to show up here with, of course, too. Obsidian Moon opting to go 3 down. I mean, not even opting. That could kind of just happen, unfortunately, for them. Jonesy from Fortnite being able to launch themselves out with that reboot card. And the rest of the team here from Let's Go Bloom Together really doing a great job of just trying to hold down this check. They're so close, yet so far from getting that last just tick there that would have maybe launched them forward a little bit more. But overall here, Red Shark trying to go some action, not really finding the pick they maybe wanted. Symbolic and Co. here in the corner trying to outlast this Reef Slider, being able to barely dodge it, but maybe not finding the pick they were looking for either here.
Yeah, it's looking like just a fight for mid at this point. We see that they're trying to stop the Booyah bomb that is getting thrown. Gets a nice pick on the Carbon here. And that is 2 down on the side of Let's Go Bloom and 1 on the side of Obsidian. And it's looking like they're trying to go for first checkpoint here. They have a stamp in their arsenal. And we see that Pepsi's trying to get a pick on the tower here. But that is them going down at this point with 3 specials on the side of Obsidian Moon.
That Carbon being able to get a nice trade. I mean, if you're able to trade out the Dynamo Roller, that's actually really huge. But when it comes down to everyone else, they are still up. I'm sure this Dynamo's about to jump in as well. Strikes coming out from Obsidian Moon. That's going to make things a bit more difficult to approach. Not that bad of a bubble here on the right. It's going to allow you to move forward to get that safe cross on the grates, but you're going to be able to find the value in order to make it worth it. And as this tower does start to move back, we are going to have to see Let's Go Bloom Together. Find a way to bloom together through mid. Otherwise, they might not be able to get the lead they're looking for.
Yeah, it's looking like just a constant fight. They're still wanting to get this leader so bad. And I think they're just losing their pressure point because Pepsi's constantly trying to move at this point. Palu's constantly going down, and it's looking like they're just constantly trying to get some picks here. And we see that the Forge does go down, but the thing is, Obsidian Moon has a cooler in their arsenal, which they do not have on the side of Let's Go Bloom. So they're going so much quicker in this section because they're just constantly going fast. But that is a nice pick for the Dread here since they get the Dynamo down.
So Let's Go Bloom Together isn't in that bad of a spot right now. They do have an opportunity to finally move up with this checkpoint, but even if they do cross it, they will have to deal with not just a hammer, but triple ink strikes as well. Also that Booyah, almost forgot about that. We do see the Forge Pro go down to the E leader, only leaving the E leader up actually, unfortunately, as the rest of the team did go down to mid. That hammer just barely grazing the leader enough to get it down to half health. Red Shark here, sharking around a little bit, being the #1 shark in the Shark Tank as far as I'm concerned when it comes to representing just everything that we have here. And overall, Citrus also trying to move up. It's just, you know, fights over fights in mid.
Yeah, definitely. There's so much fighting going on, and turf control is on the side of Obsidian. It's just, I think that Carbon is having a bit of issue coming in at this point because turf is not on their side. We see that Palu's trying to get a pick in, but they don't have Reef Slider, so they can't even get a nice, significant moment of a Reef at this point. I think the missiles being gone here on the side of Let's Go Blue might be causing them some issues because that Wiper's just constantly moving and painting as much as they can. And I think this is causing a bit of issues for Pepsi because they're constantly getting stamps thrown in their face.
No, they really are, and I mean, that's been a really good strategy to counteract what I'm sure Let's Go Bloom Together would rather have. I mean, we've seen all set all tournament long. Pepsi Boy can hit those shots, and when you have a hammer thrown at you, you're going to maybe flinch a little bit more. You're going to maybe be a little bit more hesitant to be as aggressive, and with Pepsi Boy having to back off a bit more, that's just enabling Obsidian Moon to have that much more space. As we enter the last 20 seconds of this match, we still see Obsidian Moon just kind of guarding the tower at this point. They're not even necessarily trying to push up. They're just owning mid. They're owning really also parts of the plat of Let's Go Bloom Together. It's really tight.
Yeah, it's looking like 2 down on the side of Let's Go Bloom. They're doing the GG strikes, and it's looking like they couldn't get on tower, which leads to Obsidian Moon getting the set and winning Shark Tank Shallow Waters number 37.
No, absolutely. And I mean, really great effort from the side of Obsidian Moon, closing out this set, I believe, 3-1 over Let's Go Bloom Together. Just being able to do so much, of course, being able to also just get a really strong win. I mean, we really saw things constantly going back and forth there for a while in every single one of these games. Either team really could have won any of these games, and I think this just goes down to say how well skilled both these teams are on our 420 Shark Tank.
Yeah, definitely. Both teams did exceptionally well. We've seen Let's Go Bloom a little bit more, but seeing how Obsidian Moon did on the bracket and finals just really makes me wonder how they did in the initial bracket stage as well, because they seem to do pretty well. But it's just more to the fact this is a 4 seed difference, and I'm just really excited that both of these teams did really well, and I'm really glad that Obsidian Moon managed to get this win. And I'm just also happy that Let's Go Bloom finally got some really good pushes here and did amazing and got the finals. Definitely think next time around they're going to do an amazing job as well. And congratulations to Obsidian Moon on getting that gold Wallace badge. Is something to be amazing.
Absolutely, absolutely. And when it comes down to it, just really good efforts from every single team that's been a part of tonight. Really great efforts from also our staff and our commentators as well. Of course, I'm Omazen, Smolie on the mic right now too, but really big shout outs to Beige and Moku earlier. And big, huge congrats to Obsidian Moon for winning gold bracket of Shark Tank. Also shout outs to everyone else in the other brackets as well. Shark Tank doesn't just end here, there is quite a lot more to be had. And hey, that's going to be almost it from us here. Smolie, where can all the good people find you?
You guys can find me on twitch.tv/SmolleVoid. I stream Splatoon, of course, and other cozy games, and just, chill vibes all around. Sometimes see me in, especially competitive Splatoon discords as well. But where can people find you, Omazen?
Absolutely, y'all can find me over on Blue Sky at omazen.broadcastbeep.com. You can also find me over at the CCA and Broadcasting Esports Every Play, where we head to a lot of different content. CCA just wrapped up its Season 7 of the CCA League, so there's not going to be too much action from us over there for a little bit, but overall, just be sure to stay tuned. Also for what's going on over at Shark Tank, there's a lot of exciting things over here, so yeah, that's going to be about it from us. I've been Omazen, Smolie also here as well, doing a wonderful job on the mic together with us. That's going to be it from all of us. Have a great night, everyone.